So the podcast is ending. We'll get back to that later. But to ensure that it never comes back, I'm going to say the N-word.
What?
Oh, no, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it now. Is that all right?
No.
Do you reckon we can get away with that?
No, I don't think.
Right, I'm going to say it. The N-word.
I can't believe you've done it.
Sorry. No, but Sean, what's your...
I accidentally said that yesterday. I'm trying to say the trying to get a hamburger. And then I started to say it, I was like, Nick.
We better cut this.
Why were you saying that?
We were talking about loads of stuff, I can't remember.
Alright, well.
I don't know if you can hear that, listeners, because we're using different microphones. but Millie said she quoted a video that's on YouTube, and bear in mind, this is just what the video's called. It's called trying to get a hand beezy, right? That is just what it's called. She was getting a tattoo yesterday and accidentally quoted it. I don't know how you managed that, but there we go. Whoops. Trying to get it. Whoops. This is all getting cut. Hello, but to be more accurate, goodbye. This is the 3T RPG podcast, and my name is Harrison Hunt, and with me is Sean Hunt.
Yeah, what's up? Go on then. That's my phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the catchphrase everyone knows and loves. And of course, we've got James Clark.
Good day to you all, you gremlin pricks.
Today we've got some sad news.
Really,
Good day to all you fucking cunts. We've got some sad news, right? The podcast is officially going on hiatus, but we'll get to that in the main subject. If this is your first episode, firstly, where the fuck have you been? But also, this is an RPG show all about tabletop RPGs. And today, we've got some segments, haven't we? We've got News Punch, we've got What You Sayin', the main subject, which is going to be the RPG isn't interesting anymore. And then we're going to go to a new segment called The Forgotten Archives, where we'll go over all the subjects we never got to make an episode about. And then finally, we're going to do Electro Letters, where we read your email out. Email correspondence. Letters. Yes. Sean, have you got a conspiracy corner for us this time? We're not doing it now, but have you?
Sure.
All right, sweet.
Oh no, it's going to be...
it's going to be fucking stupid. But let's do some news, shall we? News Punch. Modifius and Free League announces they will be publishing an official Discworld RPG. So, to coincide with the 40th anniversary of The Colour of Magic, the first Discworld book, Modifius have hoovered up yet another license which they will haphazardly slap their generic system onto. While Modifius are generally respectful of the properties they make RPGs for, they've become very stale, reusing the same system over and over and over, whether it works or not. Of course, you lads know Alien is a very good example, but typically the best games...
It's the best one, though.
It is the best one. And the best ones, the ones that work, tend to be the ones that contain horror elements, desperate elements, or survival, right?
Yep.
Discworld is none of those. But they'll do it anyway.
It's just a world of discs.
It's just discs. That's it. You can play a CD, a laser disc, a mini disc, all the discs.
A VCD.
Yep.
It's good. It's a good one.
You ever owned a VCD?
Yeah.
No.
I got one, and it was Rush Hour 1 and 2.
Sick.
When Rush Hour 2 was just out in the cinema. It was a pirate that we found at a boot sale in Brighton. So,
wow. I bet that was good
I used
quality.
to make
Disc
my own.
humour.
Wait, I shouldn't say that, should I?
Go on.
We used to make our own
Of?
VCDs. We had one of Family Guy, season 4 episode.
Sean, it's okay to put something on a VCD and watch it. It's just not okay to sell it.
Okay.
This is like Sean and I used to make a thankfully now deleted YouTube series, and Sean was like, "No, I never mentioned that we use an emulator." Meanwhile, there are channels on YouTube that are like, "How to use this emulator?" And Sean was worried that the police were going to come knocking. You said we've watched a YouTube video. You said that you used you've used an emulator. So
Z-SNES.
can you imagine you would go into the nonce wing as well if you used an emulator? I think when you go to jail.
What is that? Is that the severity?
That's how
No,
bad
it's just
it is.
commonly known, you know.
It's just because you're such a weak bitch, they just chuck you in there. Next bit of news: Modifius and Free League released Dune RPG to coincide with the second film.
All right. There's a theme coming out here.
Does anyone like Dune here?
I haven't actually watched any of them,
No,
but I
me-
would like to.
I read the first 10 pages of the book, but I've never actually watched it.
Did you get covered in sand as well? You couldn't read the rest?
That's the problem, yeah.
But no,
Shut up.
The
No,
films
shut
are
up.
good.
We're not here
Shut
to talk
up.
about
And
the film now.
No, we're not talking
It's
about
just
that.
yes
This
or
is an
no
RPG
answer.
podcast.
You said you like to
no, but you
Yeah,
can
but it's just yes or
you
no.
can never reference anything outside of RPGs on this show.
I want to get
DCDs, don't mention those.
I want
Yeah.
to get across that I like the Dune films.
You could have just said
Wow.
yes.
Good for you.
People want to hear that I like them.
No, yes.
they?
So yes will do.
I'm going to inform the fans.
People with the Sean fans.
I'm going to inform
Guanin fans.
I'm going to inform.
Modifius announces Walking Dead RPG.
Oh, wow.
So you should watch the first one. I think.
Wait a minute, we've gone
It's
past it
quite
now.
We're not talking about Dune anymore. Do you want to get kicked out on the last episode?
Not really.
Physically kicked out. Not just...
We will kick your insides out of you.
Oh, mate, come on.
What about the Walking Dead RPG? Anyone excited about that?
No.
Anyone
Not
still
in-
care about the
Not
Walking
in the
Dead?
fucking slightest.
All right, Modifius announces Star Trek RPG.
Oh, wow. Live long and prosper.
Okay, which one's it based off of?
Sean, no one cares. I don't think.
Deep Space Nine. No, I actually don't know. I think it's
Why did you get excited about that?
well because Star Trek: The Next Generation RPG would actually be really good, but then
Yeah, but not if it's done by
It's the only one I
Modifius
like,
and
really.
3D.
it'll be that same old system. Yeah. Actually, a bit of good news though. Savage Worlds 20th Anniversary Edition hits Kickstarter. Now, I don't usually like doing Kickstarter in the news, but this one is big for us, with this being our favourite system. So this is the 5th reprint of Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, which was news to me. I actually thought there was only one. But it contains minor updates to the rules, so it's not something you need to get. Don't worry. It's not Shane doing his usual shit. And alongside just securing a new copy, that's what you get from it, basically. So if you don't have it and you want to get the latest printing, you can go over to the Kickstarter, but you can also add on a bunch of new accessories that they've made for the 20th anniversary. For example, there's a new Savage Worlds Players book, which is a smaller table copy of the rules containing just the rules for players, which is slightly cheaper as well. And what's cool is the player rules have 5 different cover variants, which is pretty cool.
I might
Don't
have to.
Collect the whole set.
Collect all of them, yeah. That's definitely what he's out for.
The worst thing is that one of them is just the normal artwork for the regular edition, which I felt was like a little bit lazy.
I think it should have been different.
Yeah, definitely.
Always.
In addition to this, they're introducing the new accessories box, which contains all the spell cards, status cards, burst templates, blast templates, ammo counters, and all of that came with the Adventure Edition box set. But if you've already got the rulebook, you can just buy the box of accessories now, which is cool.
Oh, at last.
Yeah, well, exactly, because previously that was the only way to get those plastic burst templates.
And it was like, oh, great, now I've got 4 copies of the same.
Yeah, exactly. What else? Basically, one cool new addition that they're adding to these accessories, though, that hadn't come up before, is edge cards, which have... so if you like edging...
Yeah. Microsoft Edge, when will you Microsoft come?
Exactly. Sleaze! Come, Lord! Right, so yeah, the new edge cards. So these edges are like cool mechanics that any character can have, like abilities kind of thing, and now they've got them on cards, which is really fucking handy.
That's a really good idea, and I can't believe I hadn't thought of it before.
Well, exactly, and that one twat at our table that can't remember his fucking edges that looks them up every day, that complete fucking prick. Anyway, there's 3 packs of the edge cards, so you can get standard ones, and then you've got the add-ons for Deadlands and the Fantasy Companion, which is kind of cool.
Sweet.
Now, Pinnacle have been known for shitty stretch goals on their Kickstarters previously, ranging from bookmarks with advertising on them to JPEGs cut directly out of the Savage Worlds PDF. And the ones that you get on this Kickstarter are kind of meh, but they're not awful. A character journal, for example, which is kind of cool. A Savage Worlds shoulder bag, for some reason.
Shoulder bag.
Ah, Sean, he's well in on that.
No, I'm not.
No, he was loving that.
No, it's
Shut
like
up.
shoulder bag, question mark, exclamation mark. It better be a good shoulder bag, though.
Sean's going to buy it.
Is it like one of those GMing bags?
Right, so there's a little country in the world called China, right? And the good thing about those is they've got a lot of lax laws on forced labour. So if you want to buy a cheap bag and slap your logo on it,
Is that what
a
they've
discount for high volume.
done? Is that what they've done?
Yeah, that is exactly what they've done. Yeah, I mean, it's probably just a bag. But I just thought it was a very weird addition. Not only that, but the bag, it's not a stretch. You know, usually you get all the stretch goals if you pledge, right? In this case, they will release the bag for public consumption. Like, you can buy it as a stretch goal. So it's kind of weird. They're like, look, if we get enough, we're going to release a bag. All right, thanks, Shane.
Is it similar to your GMing bag, or is it just a shit bag?
No,
It looks like your bag over there. So
just a
listeners,
satchel.
if you can imagine that, all right,
Okay.
just a bag. It's just a bag with a logo. All right. Card stands.
Card stand.
Yeah, so
that makes sense when you do initiative.
yeah, but isn't
yeah.
just putting them on the table and lying them face up more easy? Because in Savage Worlds, if you don't know, you use cards for initiative. So in this case, you could stand them up. I suppose it will save room. But the good thing about using cards for initiative is how quick it is.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have to put it into a little stand.
Yeah, but it means like the GM sometimes stands up. He's like,
Yeah, but that's the whole job of the fucking GM.
Yeah. Well,
to look and pay attention.
There's that, and also bear in mind, officially in the Savage Worlds rules, what you're supposed to do is not reveal your initiative cards, right?
Yeah.
You keep them to your chest, so you wouldn't put them in a stand anyway. Second of all, the GM is supposed to count down aces, kings, so on, right? And then when it's your turn, you put your hand up. That's the actual rules. So that's a kind of pointless, but nothing quite as funny as the Deadlands 20th anniversary bookmarks, sadly, that had advertising on them. But still, a nice Kickstarter with some good ideas in there. And I think if you don't have the book already, jump in. And Sean, you can get the accessories box if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
I might do, yeah.
Last bit of news is Modifius. No, I'm just kidding. Right, that is it for news. Shall we go into what we've been saying?
What about the Roll20 breach?
Yeah, you did. You did tell me about that, James, and it wasn't that interesting.
Nah, but it was the most fresh piece of news we've had.
You should see the fucking and we'll get into this on the main subject, but you should see the news sites that I steal the news from. I mean, it's fucking barren out there, man. It's they're resorting to. I mean, I said this before. It was a while ago when I saw there was a guy that did a whole article about different types of dust that you get in D&D.
That's fucked up.
I know. Most of the news was about Modifius releasing new licensed shit.
What about the new cartoon gangster?
Again, I don't like to talk about Kickstarters on the news. I only did because this one was particularly good. But that cartoon gangster, it's called Hell of a Town. Check it out. That Kickstarter's just come out. It looks really cool. It's got an old school cartoon, like 1950s cartoon aesthetic. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for news.
One of these. Oi, yeah. What you slaying?
All right, so we've been playing D&D 5e Murder City. James, stop reading texts from your wife.
No, I'm getting my game up.
Oh, right. Okay.
In prep.
So, well, all right, good. Well done. All right. Sorry.
Fuck you, man. I'm being prepared for once.
So we played D&D 5e. We played the game was officially titled Murder City, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Whole point was this god Cyric had created a game using all of these people that had just come into the town. They had to murder each other. There was 13 contestants, I think, including your player characters.
12 at the beginning.
Yes.
And then eventually
one got added.
13, yeah.
They had to murder each other and get away with it. That was the whole point in it. Otherwise, once the time had elapsed, it was 10 days. Once that was over, you guys would all die unless there was one person still alive. Crown the winner, right? And this god Cyric had created it as like a trick sort of game because, there was a lot of complicated reasons as to why he did that, which I won't get into, but essentially all of the player characters teamed up and went about destroying all of the other contestants before then deciding on a way to dispatch each other. Ended with just your two characters alive after Sean's character's uncle tried to murder the party.
Yeah.
You guys dispatched him and then decided to play... Because you didn't want to actually fight each other, you decided to let the dice decide and ended up doing Russian roulette with poison arrows and regular arrows with a crossbow. So you'd roll a dice, see who shoots the other person, and then the first one to die is the loser. What was great is the whole campaign ended with you guys in an alley. So the whole thing took place in Waterdeep. You couldn't leave the city, otherwise Cyric would kill you with a heart attack, right? And you guys decided to do that in the alley. And it was so funny because you guys became the sort of best of friends. And were shooting each other. And Clarence, what was your character's name? Hackmed. He was like, Hackmed, I love you, man. And just died. And then you killed Sean and then killed yourself anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was sort of like Romeo Juliet vibes, bro.
Yeah, because James's character had a really terrible time with it. Because one of the people in the murder game was an assassin, and of course one of the things she was very good at was talking to people and getting people on side, diplomacy type things. Started a romance with James's character, made it very convincing, only to try and betray him by poisoning him at the last minute. And Ahmed was just you having the worst time.
It was funny because we all commented and said it was one of the most naturally like born romances in a game that we've played, and it seemed really just like normal and everything was great and it was nice. And then out of fucking nowhere, like Harrison's playing this fucking main character by this point, really.
Yeah, she'd been with you guys for like 10 episodes or something.
Yeah, and then she just tries to kill me overnight. Oh, it's actually she did.
Well, she
succeeded and I got resurrected.
You were about to have sex with her for the second time. Yeah. And then she goes, here, drink this. It'll, because she was an alchemist, right? So she goes, here, drink this. It'll make it better.
Basically.
It'll make it better. You drank it, and it was a paralysing potion. She as you were laying there paralysed, she was just like, oh, to think I would sleep with you. She was actually really racist, and you were a dragonborn. She was like, the fact that we did it once disgusts me. Now take this.
I was sat there aghast at the table, just like, what the fuck?
It was after you revived her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because she died and I fucking revived her. Went out of my way.
They went and got revivify potions, right? And they had 3, right? And I thought what they were going to do was, in the end, kill each other so that there could be one winner, and then they would revive the other 2. Yeah. Like, so everyone could survive, we could carry on with these characters. We used all of them to resurrect the characters midway through the actual campaign, and one of them got used on her, which was it was wild. It was very, very funny.
Mate, it was probably one of the best twists.
Oh, thanks, man.
I think that's ever popped up, because I was genuinely so surprised.
Yeah, overall, I thought it was a very fun campaign. What did you guys think of it? Did you have a nice time?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I have to say, the one thing that eventually fucked me off is I played Baldur's Gate 3 and realised that in good hands how good the D&D world can be. Do you know what I mean? I've always kind of thought that, but it inspired that little spark in me again. And it was very, very fun to play. And like I said, the GM has to be the one who takes on the crunch in that game.
Yeah, definitely.
But then we got to fucking hell. I mean, like, it was good. But then we got to about level 5, right? And this is when Tobuscus, our third player, his character died, and he came back as Clarence's uncle, Buck, right? Yeah. And he was a wizard, and he never... I told him to write his fucking spells down, and he never, ever once did. And he was using this app, and he never, ever had it open. Well, and every single time had to read the whole description again.
His character's sheets are always dodgy as well, though, so...
You think he cheats?
I mean, unintentionally, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we did figure that out with his old Savage Worlds character, didn't he? But he genuinely didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to the point where just his spells every time it was his fucking turn. I'm sometimes polite about it, but do you remember? I was like, "Can you get your fucking move? Can you take your turn before one of us dies?" It just.
And then he's like, "No, hang on."
Almost there.
To cast a fireball, the caster waves his hands around in a gesture, and I'm like, oh.
The one time he used his spells was when he torched an entire forest.
Yes, yeah.
No, he did that more than once.
He did it more than once, and almost killed you guys.
More than once.
So. But I think some of the highlights for me were, I thought that romance thing was pretty cool. There was a point where you guys murdered somebody by planting a heretical book in her room and then informing the police. Because one of the rules was if you get arrested, you will die of a heart attack and you're out of the game, right? So the funny thing is that this... obviously the guys figured out that didn't necessarily mean get arrested for murdering one of the other people.
Yeah.
So she got arrested because you snuck into her room at night and planted a book in there. And then told the police, and I thought that was pretty fucking good.
I'm starting to realise that all of our time should have been spent trying to... I suppose we were. I mean, we got sidetracked a lot, but our main sort of thing was to try and kill this jester guy.
Yeah, the Cyric.
And we did get pretty close to finding an instrument to bring with us, but...
Yeah, it ended up because you kind of divided your time half between trying to find a way out of the game and by actually playing the game, and it was pretty cool. What is that fucking bird doing out there? Yeah, and also so the big sort of ending where there was a point where James's character went off by himself, and you prayed to Baal, who's a god of murder.
Yeah, no, I was going off by myself to basically. It was when I was going to hunt for
Olivia,
because she betrayed me, and I was going to go on my ones, and I was pretending to be in a man's stupor of depression, but I was actually just on the hunt for the kill, and then fucking Tabasca's character joined me on the way.
Yeah, that was annoying. James wanted to go and do his own thing, and the monk just followed him the whole way.
It was annoying because I set up the scene. Like, in my opinion, quite well, and then he just puts his hand up and goes, "Oh, can I roll for this?" So and then say that I followed him, and then I was just like, "What?" I was like, "I've actually spent at the table 3 to 4 minutes of explaining."
Yeah, and you were like, "I'm going to sneak off by myself in the night," and he's like, "Well, I would be listening, and therefore I follow him."
So I don't mind if it happens, and like if
it was supposed
if
to be
they
your
speak
moment
first, and then I'm second. But it was my time in the spotlight, and I did kind of that pissed me off a bit.
Yeah, you can do that.
You can tell the last session when he tried to do something, and I said, no, don't. I'm just going to let me finish before you say anything, because I didn't want it ever to happen again. Because it's like, the camera goes round the table, you get your own time.
You get your spotlight, and I think if a player is expressly saying that they want to go by themselves, I think you should allow that. But but anyway, you spoke to Baal, and it turns out that that Cyric was being trapped with only a fraction of his powers, right?
Yeah.
And he had to murder 200 people to become untrapped by Baal, right?
Yeah, because he had to offer their souls to.
That's right. So, yeah, 200 souls. So the way he did that was by creating this whole murder game. And at certain points, it was obvious that his power wasn't there, because he kept on saying there were twists in the game, that there was a beholder loose in the city, that today nobody could be arrested for any reason. But all of it was a lie, because he's the god of tricks. So, yeah. Fun campaign. I'll stop going on about it now, but I enjoyed the fuck out of it. And still the crunch in D&D does annoy me, but it was really good playing, because that type of D&D is really what our group got started on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was very, very good. Savage Pathfinder, we're back. Sean, do you want to explain your Savage Pathfinder game?
So it's set 6 years after the first Pathfinder, and you're now in.
Talk. Just talk fine.
Shut up! They're gone.
Good.
Did you see them fly away?
It's now 6 years in the future, and you guys are part of the police force and that, it starts from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. I'll explain.
I'll explain Sean's story.
I'll explain. Right. So we played a campaign previously where we were police of a small town, and our characters uncovered a massive, massive plot by an evil guy to distort all of the crystals that protect the various areas of the world. We solved that issue, and now we're playing a multiverse one where James is playing his original character, but from our universe. Our other characters are alternate universe versions of our previous characters, and we were part of the police. We were tracking down these drug guys that were selling a new type of drug, and it turns out they used something. It was a snow globe that contained a Storm King from the past, and they used it to cover the city in snow freeze it over so that they could smuggle the drugs into the city, right? So there'll be a huge distraction.
Pretty elaborate plan.
It is.
For drugs.
So our boss, Balder, who is gay.
Balder's gay.
Yep. It's a pun. He sent us into the past to kill the Storm King so that globe would never have any power. And I've got to say, we fucking tore the campaign apart. God. We went we with the ferocity of a baboon.
Yeah. And then.
So it finished after 7 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be like 13 episodes for you.
No, it was meant to be more than that.
Yeah, definitely more.
I reckon it was 16. Maybe plus.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, I want to talk about is the hut, right? Let's talk about the hut.
Yeah.
Because we get to this place, right, in the past, and it's all been frozen over. So the Storm King's somewhere near. As we travel back in time, we see this hut, right? And everyone knows, right? If you've ever seen one film or whatever, if you're traveling out in the wilderness and there's a solitary hut in the wilderness, right?
Yeah, mysterious looking hut.
You know it's bad.
With one
right?
inhabitant.
So we went in there with our, not only were we with policemen, right?
Yeah.
We went in there with our questioning hats on, right? And this guy started feeding us a story that Sean, so the person who owned the hut was actually nice, and it was just a place to rest.
Yeah, I wanted you guys to have a break.
So Sean had clearly come up with this guy's backstory on the spot, and it was and because we were investigative, we poked it full of holes real quick, because he was like, he was like, oh, we got a problem with Yetis around here or whatever, and we were like, fucking hell, that does sound bad. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I sell their pelts to Navis City up the road, which is where we wanted to go. We were like, right, so you take them out by yourself, do you? And he's like, well, yeah, I do. I mean, no, and then but earlier on he'd said, I'm not much of a fighter, so I'm going to need you to help me to Navis City. And we're like, but you killed Yetis. And he was like, no, my wife used to do that. She was really, really strong. Well, and then we look at the wall and there's an ice dragon head on the wall. And he's like, yeah, I killed that. And then we were like, "What do you mean you killed that?"
It was super suspect, and we were like ready to just take him out. Really,
we didn't realise that it was just a very flimsy backstory.
Sean actually had to break GM character and just say, "Look, guys, I just wanted you to have a rest, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with him."
He goes, "All right, it's a shit backstory. All right." That was very funny.
So that was good.
Yeah, and but we thought he was just a lying character, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, then the unfortunate thing that happened was you had I can't remember what the dice was called, but
it was an in-game D20. There was a mysterious artifact, kind of like a deck of many things, but if you rolled it, you get a random result. Yeah. Some of them are very good, some of them are very bad.
So it was rolling it, willy-nilly, a couple of cool things happened, but then gave it to this guy and just like, hey, roll this, to think we could repay him for us being dicks to him by having him, him get imbued with a special power or something.
Because my character didn't know what it was. Yes, and the first time I rolled it, it gave me a one-time use of the blast power, right? Yeah, and then the second time I rolled it, and Sean just... I gave it to the guy and said, here, let's play a game of dice to pass the time. Guy rolls it, and Sean just looks down at his notes. And I don't know if you know this, but Sean is... does a lot of very weird ejaculations, weird noises whenever something surprising happens. But I roll the dice, comes up 11. Sean looks down at the book and he goes, "Dude!" I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "No, can we not do this? Can we?" And he got the guy was blinded permanently.
Yeah. He was blinded immediately, and that was it.
And then quick, like I mean, at least he could get healed at the church, but that was
heal blindness.
Yeah. I mean, I felt sorry for him.
Well, we took him to the city to try and get him healed up, but
and then we forgot about his existence.
We left him in a house.
Oh yeah,
he's still there as far as I'm aware.
We kind of did, didn't we?
Yep.
Didn't we leave him somewhere? Oh no, we did leave him somewhere safe because we asked for.
Yeah, he was going to.
No, it was in a guy's house.
Yeah, but he wanted to go to Navis City. He'd been there before and he'd been selling pelts. So realistically, he knew what he was doing when he was there.
Fair.
But he just couldn't see anymore.
So anyway, it turns out, obviously, as we knew, the Storm King was just around the corner. And what we did is because everyone's been... So there are things appearing in the city. For example, a hag that have been following us for a while. These people are living with their doors barred up, like it's dangerous in there, right? So we say, well, we want to solve this. And everyone is aware of what's happening. So one of our characters decides to start a militia. And the interesting thing is that when we killed this hag, she had a dog, like a really good dog, right? And my dog had just died, and I had the Beastmaster Edge, right? My dog had just died, and I needed a new dog. So when we killed the hag, I tried to animal handling train that dog, right? Sean was like, clearly scared of his campaign being ripped apart. He says to me, "No, you can't have that dog. But like you can have this. What did you give me, Sean?"
Barghest.
A Barghest.
Barghest.
Right? And there's a rule in Savage Worlds, right, that everyone uses. You don't allow Puppet or Teleport, 2 spells. You don't allow them in the game because they break it. Yeah, Sean thought this Barghest was weaker than the dog, so he gave it to me, and both fly, teleport, Puppet. Like he was just amazing. So one of our teams decides to start a militia, and we're going to raise an army and go and tackle the Storm King ourselves. Then with like thousands of people, right? But my dog, my Barkhest, just teleported in through the mayor's door, used the puppet spell. Now I knew I couldn't get him to draw up a contract there and then, but I wanted him to draw up a contract that was to make sure that everyone in the city who's able-bodied joins the militia. Right, he couldn't do it on the spot because the puppet spell only lasts for about 5 seconds. So I said to him, my Barghest goes through the door and he goes, "Tell your scribe to draw up a contract that says this," and then boom.
Yeah.
Suddenly we find ourselves with 3,500 people, which is split into 3 different legions.
Yeah, we basically warhammered it. At that point.
We controlled an army each, used the mass battle rules. It was fucking amazing. So Sean had this whole dungeon that was supposed to be like a mega dungeon that was the basis
It had
for
loads
the
of
entire
tiers,
campaign.
he had loads of monsters, there was like definitely levels and all this.
Floors and floors.
He said that should have lasted about 4, maybe 5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it in about, 10 minutes?
So what happened, Sean, when we stormed it?
You fucked everything up.
That's a nice one.
I mean, like, in a good way,
I liked it because my Barghest was using his fly powers to funnel people up to the top floor as well.
It was a 10-0 fight as well to you guys.
Yeah, because we had the bigger army, and the way the mass battle rules, you kind of start off with tokens depicting how much you have. So we it depends on the size of the armies, but we broke it down into each poker chip was worth 100 soldiers, right?
Yeah.
And Sean, I was like, so how many monsters are in your dungeon? And Sean was like, I don't know, about 100. So he had one token. And we had 35, yeah. And so we had a plus 35 on our battle rolls, right? I think that's how it works anyway. But I remember you describing it, Sean. Like we were going in, and we were just like left, right, and centre, like thousands of people just slaying beholders, liches. Like it was fucking incredible. Just utterly tore it apart. Like I'm sorry, but that was art.
Really
it was art what we did.
It's really good thinking, but I think you guys would have enjoyed the dungeon and the.
Oh no, it would have been sick. It would have been sick. But
you could have just picked it up and put it elsewhere because we never played it.
That's what that's what we said. But
we even said it immediately after the game.
Sean's autism will not allow him.
It's true. It's like, no, but we've already completed
it. But it was themed around. You know, this is what I was saying. What you got to do if you really don't want the players to do something like that is to make it so they can't do something like that.
Yeah. Also, as Jamie, who I work with and explained the story to, pointed out. Just say, oh yeah, the Storm King's not in the castle.
Well,
yeah, that's another one. You could say that he's fled, or Diablo 3 is a good example because you eventually your characters get good enough to fight loads of things. But the thing is, what happens is you end up going to places that only your character can access, like heaven, for example. Yeah. If we'd have raised an army and the Storm King's thunder was in an alternate dimension, we could that or something like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hindsight is fucking great.
But you let us do it and it was awesome.
Actually the player payoff that we got was unreal. That's the one good thing one of the great things about your campaigns.
Yes.
We technically, air quotes, take the piss because it's just how the dice roll and how we set stuff up. But when we do stuff like that and dispatch your fucking 5 episodes in 10 minutes, you're just like, yeah, well, that was great and well done, congratulations, as opposed to saying, I'm going to put a spanner in the works and then make you work for it in a different way that I'll do next episode because I need to plan
you actually let us, the freedom.
Reap all the benefits that we lay down for ourselves.
Then rewarded for playing well, I think.
Yeah, exactly, for thinking about it, yeah. And you know, the thing is, as well, is that with the mass battle rules, if you beat the other army by a crit, then you can choose whether or not the main characters in their army are executed or captured. So we captured the Storm King, and now he's an exhibit in the town.
Yeah, we captured him. Even though he's a Storm King, we froze him in an ice block using the Icebane sword, and then put him into the mines and made that an exhibit. So it created attractions for the town. And boost the economy.
That's right.
And you'd rigged a slushy machine off of him as well.
Yeah.
In addition to this, right, so then we had to, it turns out there was this crystal called the Luminex, right, that could help us get back to our time once we'd sorted it all out. It had been nicked and we had to go and get it. And to get it was hidden behind all these bizarrely evil traps for what it was. So something was going on, right? And it turns out there were nega versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
No, it's supposed. I I think I messed up a bit on explaining the ending to you guys.
Well, let me explain how we saw it,
Yeah, go on.
and then you clarify, right?
Yeah, go on.
So we had to do all these trials to get the Luminix. Now, what the worst thing was, right, is that there was an alternate dimension version of your character, James Ruddles.
Yeah.
And he didn't like the fact that he sort of blamed you for his existence, and he hated existing, right?
Yeah.
Now, my Barghest had the puppet spell, and this was the final boss of the campaign, and I am sorry about this, Sean.
Oh wait, just really back a few minutes before that. So, just before we encountered the negative versions of ourselves, and my negative Ruddles came along, there was like a massive dragon that we fought and killed within like a few seconds.
It was a bit of luck, but also our characters were nearly at top level at this point.
Yeah, I was one away from heroic, I think.
Yeah, because we played them for so long.
And then after we killed the dragon with like the ease, no
just looking
difficulty
at
at
it.
all. Then a bunch of other
Just so everyone
creatures.
knows, it was a white dragon.
There you go, white dragon,
It's like
blue eyes, white
pretty
dragon.
high tier dragon.
Yeah, and so then a bunch of like other monsters just appeared, sort of zapped from thin air into the same place, which had really, really high toughness, but we killed all of them still, and I think there was 9 of them or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, so after all that, and those seemingly easier than they should have been battles, the Ruddles came along
And he was like, he was like, I hate myself. I hate you. Now, the thing is, right, the puppet spell is worded very specifically that you can never make them harm somebody they care about.
And just
that
beforehand,
includes themselves.
Yeah.
And I just said to Sean, so he doesn't care about his own safety. He wants to die,
He doesn't care about his own
So then my Barghest walks up and just casts puppet on him and goes, kill yourself, old boy. And the guy just cuts his own head off. Now, with the fight never even began.
Yeah. And then Sean was like, well, I suppose he fucking does that then, doesn't he?
The funny thing is, as well, is that by accident, right? We didn't actually figure this out, but by accident, Sean had made the negative versions of our characters. He'd made them all on character sheets, and at the beginning of the previous game, he had handed us those ones by accident, and we didn't know why. But Sean was like, "No, not those ones. Give those back."
Yeah. So it's meant to be a fight against other universe versions of yourself, because your past always comes back, innit?
No, it was great. It was a fucking good idea and a cracking campaign. But I said at the time, because the previous campaign was obviously much longer than 7 episodes.
Yeah.
But this felt like if the last one was a big TV series, this felt like it would be the movie. Do you know what I mean?
This felt like, it definitely was unintentionally short. But because we're cunts, right? We were giving Sean a lot of stick about it. We were like, oh yeah, just want to finish early, do you?
Yeah, now I was only about 10 pages into actually reading. I'm going to be running Rippers next, and I was only actually about 10 pages, and now I've had to speed that right the fuck up.
Yeah, but Sean feels great for that as well.
No, but I'll come back. But you guys have all said that you wanted to do another universe, new characters.
I don't.
Fresh world.
No, I want to stick with these ones.
I'll tell you what, it would be interesting to see how we could continue the lineage of these characters, considering now that my character's still the OG, but now the characters that we played in the recent version are now aware of and up to speed with the fact that they are different versions to what I am.
Yeah,
and I've seen them die a million times.
Yeah, I like that straight after the final battle you explained that to everyone.
Yeah, so now they're deeply aware of their technical insignificance, but also completely worried about the fact that they're so fragile.
I liked that Harrison's character. It's like, oh, so that's why you go off crying every day?
But what was funny is what was cool was that James's character, his mum from his universe, it has been hopping around different universes.
Hopper, yeah.
So he left an artifact in the past so that hopefully she would see it in the future and come and see you. And it ended with us all going on holiday. And we were sitting in the cab, and just as your character was about to get in, your mum turns up. My character leans out the window and he's like, Ruddles, why are you talking to that random lady? Come on. But we ended up with like a proper coconut on the beach sort of thing. Yeah.
And your voice finally broke.
Oh yeah, because my character's actually 21, but he looks very young.
Yeah.
And this whole time people have been calling him a child and stuff. And he's like, anyway, let's go. And he just, finally broke.
That's funny.
You guys go off into the sunset, but then your hotel is a haunted house, so life goes on.
Spooky, scary skeletons. So James, You cheating fucking cunt.
Shit.
Yeah.
You yellow-bellied fucking slime.
Yeah, so I played the D&D game at
With
work
a dick. What if? Oh, I hate.
with a different group of
I
people.
hate those fucking pricks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wegmans.
or Grant.
Right, so I'm just going to read out what I wrote.
No, I
'cause
don't
think
want.
it's quite a good
I
summary.
don't. No, I don't want you to.
No, I'm gonna.
No, I don't want you to talk
Please
about
let me.
Interested.
Never. Never talk about it.
Right, so these guys asked
No,
me
just
how it
tell
went.
us from memory.
No, I can't. I'm really bad at that.
Okay.
This is what it took me about at least an hour to write this out.
I know, but it's so long.
It's
Dave.
not so long. I can
not
read it
that
quite
long.
quickly. It's actually quite quick.
All right, really quickly.
But listen, so they asked me how
Just
it was.
bear in mind,
Yeah.
I am going to hate every second of this. 'Cause
Good.
I hate the fact you've got a new group.
No, I don't have a new group.
You do.
It just so happened.
He actually said, listeners, he said, this game's more fun than the shit I play with you. That's what he said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did.
Fucking cunt.
Right, so they asked me how it was, and I said surprisingly good. So the DM, she only got into it during lockdown, and she's done plenty of one-shots since. She did really well with explanations and descriptions, and got excited when players did cool shit, which is awesome. We had one min-max attendee who was a human fighter, which never failed to hit, even on a 5, and he declared his sharpshooter
Pop chips.
power after the initial attack rolls didn't land, which I don't agree with, but the DM let it lie.
Chili and honey saffron.
Harrison, shut the fuck up and be respectful.
Sorry. sorry. I'm reading a magazine.
Yeah. So
That
one,
does sound nice, though.
It's fuck off, cunt.
Okay.
Right, so one newbie bloke, who was a tiefling wizard, really loved it and did very well with his explanations and requesting actions. He really wants to play again, and one of his actions he requested was, can I harvest the dead lumberjacks? Because there was bodies around, and I thought that was great, because he's completely new.
Harvest them.
Yeah, because they were just corpses, and he thought he could what he meant was harvest like items and stuff.
Oh, right. The DM's like, yeah, you get 3 spleens.
Yeah, and 84 teeth. So there was a newbie lady there who was an Aasimar bard, but right at the end of it, she said, yeah, I didn't get it, but maybe next time I'll watch.
Is she northern?
Yeah,
That'd be why.
yeah, and then
Very
But-
educationally subnormal,
yeah,
northerners.
I was just like, I said she did well, and she should definitely play if she comes along next time.
Well, I think she should go back to working in the mines.
Well, she does work in HR,
Bloody
so.
Thatcher.
Right, and then it was. I said it was good to play with Jamie, who I work with. He was an arcane trickster dwarf.
Good bloke.
So all of us except the min-max had pre-gens, and I was a druid rock gnome. So the
Rock
story
like,
is
like rock.
rock out, dude.
So is this min-max? Has he been playing for a long time?
He actually hadn't. I've spoke to him about it
But he just
recently, but
dug in and really.
But he's like, yeah, he had all the best shit, and it pissed me off. It pissed Jamie off. But
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were both quite annoyed.
To be
with it.
fair, one of you was also an Aasimar. That's kind of like the broken race to use.
Yeah, but that was. I think that was on purpose, but to give to the newbies, so that they had like a really
A lot of powers.
massive
It's Buskers
thing.
with
They are cool,
yeah.
though. Yeah, he always plays. He is min maxer sometimes, and he always.
He's
plays
learned
an
not
Aasimar.
to be, which is
That's
great.
why Aasimar has ass in it,
Yeah, it is.
and also. No, carry on. Actually,
All
sorry.
right.
I was just going to mention the chili and honey saffron wings. but you
Dickhead. Right.
Stop saying things like that. I'm
Right,
trying
so-
to be nice.
No, you're not. Right, so
You're failing.
I'm going to. I'll go on to what we did. So we were travelling to a beer festival, and our carriage got flipped turned upside down. We all took a minute and just sat right there before we got outside the carriage and took in some air. The rider was dragged off. We followed and stumbled across a ritual happening, so stopped it. We defeated Dretches and a Moor demon, and that was fucking sick.
What's
So-
a Moor demon?
It's a demon.
But like more of it.
No, MAW.
Oh, Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, loads of teeth in that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So-
Cavernous Moor.
We dispatched
Like your mum.
those creatures, and it was awesome. But then we got to the festival, and we were Scooby-Doo searching for clues following the stop ritual, as well as drinking and gambling. We stumbled across cursed hosts with rune seals on their neck. It was a mayor, abbot of the Grey Cloister, and the daughter of the owner of the Black Cat Tavern. The mayor was part of a bloodline that performed a ritual to seal a demon within him.
Nice.
And
Within
then-
him.
Yeah,
Within his.
within his person.
Yep. His.
The abbot-
nature's pouch.
Yes, this peach pocket.
This is.
The abbot was trying to cast a spell, having almost ended the bloodline, which would have set the demon free. And
Nice.
however, the abbot had sustained a wound in a battle that, due to its demonic nature, had festered and corrupted him.
Where was the wound? Was that where he was trying to put the demon in his pocket?
No.
Okay.
So, in the end, the abbot turned into a manticore under the demon's wrath, because the plan had failed. we defeated the Manticore really well, did some really awesome moves, like I had Nat 20 the Guide and Bolt spell, which basically cinched the win, and managed to supposit an antidote, which was created from...
Supposit?
Yeah, up the bum.
You actually did that?
Yeah, I read the table and I went, I'm just going to do that.
It's a quick route.
Did they find it funny?
Yeah, they were happy with it.
Good.
One of them actually went significantly worse, so I was like, okay.
Well, because I imagine that these people are just not nice, normal people, right? But you know what I'm like, and I'm genuinely, I'm imagining a woman of about, like, all people of about 50, receptionists, things like this.
To be fair, she was probably the oldest one there, but that was it.
And you put a pill up her bum?
Yeah, not hers.
Yours?
No, the mayor, an NPC.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we managed to stop the demon coming out by creating some form of antidote which stopped the corruption. And then... Antidote, yes. But the intended demon had like portals which they were meant to bring like hordes and hordes of monsters against us, and it was meant to be a really massive and tiresome battle. But yeah, we just kind of did a Sean. You know, we campaigned it.
Shawned it.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
But yeah, so once the DM finished, she gave some historically accurate information about women brewing back in the medieval times.
Women brewing.
Yeah, brewers, because there's a lot of the stuff was brewed by women back in the olden days.
Ugh.
Yeah, and yeah, no, it was really good.
It sounds very good, to be honest with you. Are you going to be playing with them again?
Yeah,
because if you do,
yes, I will.
You're out.
Yeah, you have to.
No, I'm not out. I'm in.
No, I hate these guys.
Shut
up! You played with 5 other different groups, you prick.
Yeah, I didn't like any of them.
You cheating hag.
It's like this when I went on holiday.
What do you mean?
With the
Well,
lads.
Sean, he texted our group saying, "Oh, I'm going on holiday with the guys."
Yeah.
I'm like, "We're the fucking guys. What's going on here?" Fucking cunts. I hate your group. I hate you. I'm looking at Sean. No, that does sound cool, and I'm very happy for you. But so is it going to be a long one?
I don't know, but I think I'm going to try and have a word with Fiona, the GM, and just say for the next game, because we're trying to recruit other people who were interested but didn't come along, to do another one-shot, but literally say everyone must choose pre-gens. Because I think someone coming with their own pre-made character without running it past the GM first, I think that's cunty, and it really...
That is big.
It is. It's prone to cheating, and also I think you have to be all pre-gens or no pre-gens, right?
And then start with pre-gens, and then just level those characters up.
Yeah, build on
them. It's the easiest way.
It's a good way of doing it, especially for first timers. And that is weird. Did he ask? Did the GM say it was all right?
Oh yeah. Okay. So all of this was fine.
But maybe it was a bad move by her.
It's an oversight.
I've been playing with another group, so just want to let you know.
Cool.
I did think the story was cool. I was only winding you up for comedy purposes.
How was it?
Well,
I had some chili chicken saffron wings. And no, you don't. So
you've been playing with another group.
I did, yes. So there's a shop that I volunteer at, right? And I very recently, there's not been any customers. My boss is never going to listen to this, so I don't know why I'm whispering. But so I downloaded ChatGPT and fed it a D&D character sheet, and then played a game on there. And it was like, what sort of game would you like? And I said a mystery game, right? So I played a mystery game for a few hours while I was at work, and it was pretty funny. Because what happened, the thing.
Sean looks really upset about this.
Why?
No, I'm just trying to get my head around it.
So ChatGPT is an AI.
No, yeah.
And I asked it to run a game for me.
So you're playing
by myself.
So the AI was playing.
He was the GM.
Okay, yeah. That's quite cool.
I asked it to do a mystery adventure. Now I try and remember the details, but my character, I've just fed it this ranger guy, and I was investigating. The funny thing is, ChatGPT by default can't spit out any violent answers. So every time we entered an initiative, and I say, I shoot him in the fucking head, the ChatGPT would shit the bed and say, sorry, I can't do that request. So I had to make everything non-violent and cartoony, even when we were in initiative. So basically the whole plot was that there was this lady who's had a massive ruby nicked during a ball in her house, right? And so we go to investigate, and she says, my security cameras didn't pick up anything. I'm like, okay, well, ChatGPT shit the bed. And so I said, my character says, what do you mean security cameras? She was like, no, that's the name of my dogs. It was like trying to claw it back. Yeah. But then I go up to the area where the ruby was, and I go to check the footage, and she says, my security cameras read out, and it prints something off, and I thought they were dogs. And then she's like, yeah, my dogs have printers. And I'm like, okay, fine. But anyway, turns out that 2 guys were hired, and it was that this lady was a noble, and that it was actually a rival group of nobles that had hired these guys. Went to the rival group of nobles, and it turns out that the head of the house had his wax seal nicked, and that somebody was framing him. So it was like 3 different houses involved. Had 3 party members by the end of it. There was a tracker, because I asked the woman to lend me a dog, and she was like, no, they're not tracking dogs, they're security dogs, so I can lend you my tracker. And I'm like, I asked her, why would a noble need a tracker? And she's like, don't ask questions. But anyway, it was pretty good, and it was just funny, because, like, for example, when I tracked the thieves down, I told them if they tell me everything that they did, I'll let them go. And I let them go, and then I rolled deception, right? I was lying. I went to go and shoot them in the back of the head, and as they were running off, ChatGPT was like, no, can't do that, I'm afraid. And so I just said, all right, I trip them over with a big stick and tie them to a tree. And that was sort of the way it had to go. Yeah, it was a good laugh. It was quite funny. If you've got like an hour that you've got nothing going on, just give it a go, because it was quite funny.
That does sound quite like a good idea.
But it kept on fucking mansplaining to me about things, where I said, I pull my gun. And it's like, typically in D&D, you do not have guns. I'm like, you fucking do, shut up. But yeah, it was a good laugh. And next we're going to be playing some Rippers, Victorian era Gothic monster hunting.
Nice.
Sean wants to play the Trash Man.
Yeah, I'm playing.
You're not playing the Trash Man.
These are deeply serious characters.
It is serious,
Yeah, I know.
it's dark, it's gritty, right?
Danny DeVito has layers, though, isn't it? You know?
What a cunt.
You're a cunt. Right, should we take a little break and then we'll go into the main subject?
Are we not doing the conspiracy corner?
All right, we'll do that and then we'll go for a break.
All right.
How does that sound?
Right. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey.
So my first question for you is, can fire melt steel beams?
Get your head around both the design of the flat Earth system we live in, and who's been involved in the deception to hide it from you.
Actually, I believe it's 17.8%.
I'm about to blow your mind.
All right.
All right.
So
Literally like Carl Pilkington.
it is a bit old now, but
Have you heard about 9/11?
There was 9 and 11 of
Right,
them.
steel beams melting. Do the math.
so there has been a psyop by McDonald's.
A what?
A psyop. Was it a psionic? What does that mean? Well, you tell me. This is the conspiracy corner. Go on.
Alright,
What's
so-
this psyop by
What is a psyop?
What is the psyop?
No, what is a psyop?
So like they want to get into your head and stuff like that. They're trying to,
So it's like,
It's a psychic operation, is it? So psyop is a psychic. All right.
and as you all know, one of the biggest mercenary groups in the world that do these are the McDonald's Corporation.
well, they sort of help them, but that's another thing for another day.
He looks so thrilled right now. He's like, "Wow, this is a good one."
Guys, get on with it.
Alright.
Psyop.
So,
Fucking hurry up.
McDonald's.
so sadly, Morgan Spurlock died. He's from Super Size Me.
Oh, yeah.
Green
Right.
apple slaw with latkes and ham hock.
Right, listen to this. It's
Go on.
big stuff.
All right, so Morgan Spurlock died recently.
Yeah.
He did Super Size Me 20 years ago, which hasn't affected their profits one bit. Go on.
Well, like after the film came out,
20 years ago, yeah.
He they stopped doing supersized stuff, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They made that one small change, yeah. But other than that, he's been fine for 20 years.
And you know, it turns out that he's not very healthy.
Oh
man.
my God.
Really?
He's not very healthy, and he died recently.
Yeah.
Right, go on.
Well, he's like 50 or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is very young. And so McDonald's, before he died, they started releasing stuff like, I guess it was all different, like YouTubers and stuff, but people think that McDonald's had some part to play in it. Because they was like releasing videos very recently before he died, like it's all a lie, you know, they should bring McDonald's supersize back, because you know how McDonald's is trying to think of affordable ways to get people back, because now it costs like $12.90 for a value meal and shit.
Right, and Morgan Spurlock was talking about it.
No, like people were trying to debunk the film, even though it had already been debunked. But like several videos started.
There was
coming
some
out,
misinformation, but it was 20 years ago, and it hasn't affected McDonald's profits one bit.
But
Go
loads
on.
of videos had come out like just before he died, like saying, "Oh, they should bring back supersize." Like,
Oh, right, so you think...
the film
Right,
was
I'm
all
just...
a lie.
Shut up. Right, so I'm trying to unpack this. So YouTubers have been paid by McDonald's to say that they should bring supersize back, to get that back into people's heads, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it. So Morgan Spurlock dying, you're saying that he was
had a part to
killed.
play.
He was killed by McDonald's
I didn't
because if they brought back
I don't say
Supersize,
that.
he might make Supersize Me 3.
No, don't say that. Like, no. Like, but
I don't say that. The McDonald's Corporation will come after you.
he's a monstrously unhealthy man. But, no, they didn't try and kill him, but they probably knew he was dying of cancer and whatnot, innit?
Right, so the conspiracy is that some people that work for a company knew a man had cancer.
And they were trying to like sort of debunk, like get the word out. Oh, we need Supersize back and stuff like that.
So McDonald's,
they're
the
trying to
breaking news: McDonald's does viral advertising.
Because they're trying to get people back. You know, like
That's not even a conspiracy. This is honestly the worst one yet. This is the worst one yet. It's not a conspiracy that companies pay YouTubers to say positive things.
But what do you think about them trying to get people into people's heads about getting Supersize back? And
Well, of course they
That's
are.
advertising.
That's advertising.
like and
Doing advertising isn't a psyop. Stop using that nasal inhaler, right? Because people are going to hear that.
We can definitely hear that.
Right, but that it's not a psyop to do advertising.
I mean, it is.
Well, a while ago, I actually conspiracy corner number 2. I released a product called 78 Hamlet Happenings, right? And
Yeah.
I actually did I put out a little advert on our podcast. It was more of a psyop. You're an idiot, Sean.
No, that
You're an idiot.
How is that fucking conspiracy?
That is not the.
A conspiracy to what?
McDonald's knew.
Conspiracy to sell food to people.
McDonald's knew he was going to die. They wanted to get customers.
What is that? It's got nothing to do with his death. Do you really think they're going, well, we want to bring Supersize Me back?
Oh,
We
he's
wanna bring-
dying. Yeah, let's do it now.
Yeah, or we can't. Morgan Spurlock will take us down.
He's still alive.
He's not been relevant for 20 years, but still. Supersize Me 2 did disappointingly at the box office, but still, this man's got the power.
I didn't know that came out, to be honest.
Right, exactly. Fuck, you are an idiot. Right, moving on.
Main. Subject. Magic. Main. Subject. Tokyo. Main. Subject.
Sean, you going to sit down at any point? Going to sit in front of your microphone at any point?
Just from my trowel.
Just adjusting my trowel.
Just a trowel.
7 years ago, the first terrible episode of this podcast was released. Since then, we've gone balls deep into some of the worst products the RPG industry has ever seen. We've tucked into the rich history of TSR, Steve Jackson games, the KKK, furries, bronies, goths, and of course many, many games with sexual content that some brave publishers thought to release, probably without proofreading them first.
And then also some stuff by actual paedophiles.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of what I was getting at there. Now, I'm not for any second saying that we talked about every single interesting story from this industry, but today the landscape has changed and fewer things remain available for us to even discuss. But today we're going to talk about why the RPG industry is less interesting today than it was 7 years ago when we started. And at the end of said discussion, we'll talk about the future of this podcast. So is everyone up for that?
Yeah.
First thing I wanted to mention was basically was that a lot of this sordid shit that we reviewed in the past, like Black Tokyo, Fatal is sort of an exception here, but
Beneath the Inverted Church.
Like loads. In fact, that's a bad example again. Yeah. But loads of the old sexual stuff that we spoke about, like the Encyclopedia of Blue Magic was one. The Fantasy Erotica for D&D 3.5, like things like this. They were picked up by publishers and published, right? The fact that these got through editors and were released, I think is a bit more funny than what we have today. I mean, I saw on Drive Through RPG recently, there was a thing called Dungeon Bitches that I wanted to review. But the thing is, nowadays, right, you have any idiot can release a paedophile RPG, right? I mean, there's probably about 4 or 5 of them coming out today. Do you know what I mean? And I find that inherently less interesting than the way it used to be, where a publisher would pick it up. And Fatal and Beneath are examples of self-published works, but at least Fatal was during a time where that was not common. The fact that a guy did all of that to get that released, put it through, printers and things like this. And
it used to be such a big barrier to overcome to actually get the product out.
So
right?
the fact that exactly. So the fact that they came out was in and of itself was much more interesting and funny that it went through several people to get to that place. Like even Wraith Through, right, that we reviewed recently, that had pedo shit in the back of it. Like that was published. That was published by somebody. That went through editors. It went through layout people. I mean, it's wild that this stuff comes out. And that was just, to me, genuinely more interesting than what it is today. Any idiot can do it. And I don't know. I find it inherently a bit less funny.
And also, there's the fact that there's a lot of good products out today, and a lot of people seem to stick to the same products, and now they're expanding on those excellent products, such as Savage Pathfinder for Savage Worlds. I mean,
like it's shrunk. The industry is almost shrunk down a bit because it's because now
apart from Madivius, who are releasing every fucking
that's
game
fucking
they
growing.
want.
but
That's growing.
That's
It'll
surely,
collapse.
Yeah, that's surely going to
But
collapse.
it's, like you say, I mean that's a good point, because it's also the same thing goes for like bad games, right? I mean, back in the day when you'd have fewer RPGs coming out, you might give some of the weirder ones like the WWF RPG like a look in. Do you know what I mean? But nowadays it's like, again, we reviewed a lot of bad games on this podcast as well, or ones that were interesting artifacts and things like this. But again, that happens. There's about 50 products a day going on our Drive-Thru RPG that are really shitty, and
Yeah,
it's
there's
so
loads of
easy.
stuff always being kickstarted.
But it's not. It's just fundamentally less interesting to talk about, because back in the day when a bad RPG got released, it's like it went through all of those hoops, and there were fewer coming out. And it's also the type of bad RPG that was interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
Whereas now you've just got a million fucking fantasy heartbreaker things that are just coming out, where it's just some guy's fucking house rules of D&D 5e, and they just publish it. And there's so many of those that are just middle of the road meh, like not interesting to talk about, that come out a day. Do you know what I mean? It's wild. But yeah, that was kind of the first point I wanted to point out, was just that, and again, like when we talk about the big hitters of shit RPGs, we've done all of them. The only one we haven't done is Cult, and Sean wrote a review for that. But it also it's out of all of them, wasn't one of the interesting ones, really. It was just Gnosticism. That was it.
Yeah.
It was anti-Christian.
It was basically like Satanic Panic, but in Sweden.
Yeah, but also less dramatic because nobody died.
And it also had a good ending as well, because they released a new version in 2018 that was quite popular. So
there we go. But yeah, and we've done it because like most of the like the big ones that people think about, we've done them. And even Wraithu was one I didn't want to touch for ages because I didn't find it that interesting until I read the whole thing, of course. But yeah, it's a shame, but that's just it now. It's just there are bad products all over the place.
I also feel like the thing is we could keep on reviewing stuff, but then it's not interesting enough. Like the episodes, I know that generally our episodes are quite long because there's a lot of material to cover. I mean, you just have, if we did that, it would be review upon review. It would just be book title, here, listen to this episode if you want to get a review of it. But there'll probably only be about 20 minutes, if that.
Yeah, and also loads of people are doing that.
Yeah.
Loads of people are already doing that, where if there's any RPG that comes out, be it from a small publisher or a big one, somebody's already done a review of it. There are some things that we found interesting and exciting enough to speak about over the years because we liked them. You know what I mean? Like we did a review of Savage Worlds, of GURPS, of loads of games. But like I say, there's too many people doing that, and we like to have a varied amount of episodes. And if that interesting shit just isn't coming out anymore, or the circumstances surrounding it are less interesting than they used to be, then it's a shame. But that's the way it is. Another thing is also the drama, right? One of the main things I loved doing is calling people out for being creepoids and whackheads and things like this. But I feel like maybe ever since people like Arcadum, who had very public downfalls, 13.5%, all that shit, maybe all the pedos and the nonces and the rapists have got wise to this,
At last.
Because at last they're starting to have better techniques of hiding. Because it's just, it rarely happened in the first place, but now it's like even more rare that it's happening. Rare, do you know what I mean? Because when was the last? I think it's been years since the last one of those has happened.
I'm trying to think what could.
That's kind of a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, of course it is.
But as in, like, what topics we like to cover? Like, what would shock us?
Exactly.
What would actually shock us now? What do you think?
Well, but that's it. Because even if, say, for example, I could fully see James Raggy of Lamentations of the Flame Princess releasing a supplement for his RPG that has pedo shit in it. I'm not saying he would do it where it's like they're the good guys, like in Wraith 2, right? But he might do that just to shock people, right? But but a self-published person putting out a product in an age where anyone can do that contains something shocking is not shocking, really, is it? Because any idiot can do that. I could go and write an RPG about Jimmy Savile right now, couldn't I?
Yep.
But it was just that it was more, and like you say, what would shock us? And also, the thing is that now, as Sean rightly pointed out, you've got so many good games out there, and this is one of the points I wanted to make, is the rise of the leech industry. People call it cottage industry, but like the leeches, right? Morkborg came out. It was the next big thing, and it was fucking brilliant, right?
It was cool, man.
The art, the attitude, everything. It changed the way that people think about doing good OSR products. What happened? Did we get more really good, innovative products? No, we didn't. What happened is that we got the leeches. Because Morkborg did the right thing in that they made their third-party license, so anyone can make a product for Morkborg and can even say it's official and use the artwork and use the logos, right?
Yep.
And they didn't want a single penny of the profit. And what did everyone do? They tried to make their own version of Morkborg, but shitter. Do you know what I mean?
Pirate Borg.
Pirate Borg, for example. That's now official as well. That's fucking wild, isn't it? Fucking Free League picked it up.
You could have loads of stuff like Skellyborg.
Yeah, I mean, there's all
Zomborg.
there was Orkborg that came out. There's one that just came out, Duckborg. Where I mean, they're probably funny, right? But that's what I'm saying. It's like the rise of the leech industry has led to less innovative products. It takes one genius to come out and make a Morkborg. You know what I mean? In that case, two. They'll come out and do it, and then everyone will leech on it, right? So instead of somebody doing their new innovative idea, you've got people just making shit for other systems that's fundamentally less interesting.
Piggybacking on the success of others.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's loads of 5e shit out there, loads of Savage Worlds shit, and of all of the third-party Savage Worlds stuff, and bear in mind, like, Savage Worlds is a good example because what's coming out for it that's really exciting to speak about, it's all third-party shit, and very rarely is it actually very good for Savage Worlds. I mean, there are some that are worth playing, right?
Pathfinder's the GOAT.
Pathfinder's the GOAT. Wise Guys is the GOAT. But outside of that, what are the big ones that are really worth playing? I'd say Titan Effect was pretty decent, although I've never played it.
I mean,
Saga of the Goblin Horde, of course, is a good one. But that was ages ago as well.
That was like 10 years ago.
And now I think the leeches, what they're doing is they're making safe bets. They're giving you more of that thing. But I don't want more of that thing. I want something new. You know what I mean? And that's just what keeps fucking happening.
I mean, I quite like that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm excited by Pathfinder. I mean,
but then you have to remember that is also technically an official product. It's a third party who's making it, but it's a collaboration.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of different. All of that stuff coming out is fucking awesome. It's just the same as if more new Deadlands stuff came out. I'd be like, yeah, that's great. But like all the rise of third party leeches and that being sort of the main stuff that's coming out, it's just boring as fuck in my opinion. It's been rare, a long time since I've seen a third party product that was like, this pushes the limits. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen.
There's nothing new and innovative coming out. In addition to this, I wanted to talk about also the process of finding the game. Do you know what I mean? Because we sort of, at least for me anyway, there was a point where I was really excited about new stuff, and there was good new stuff coming out. We had like the new Shadowrun, new DCC, the 4th edition of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, all of this stuff, right? But I've sort of settled on my game, really. Yeah.
I know, Sean, you have.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what you've always been like, though. You settled on Call of Cthulhu and you mangled it within an inch of its life.
No, but Pathfinder, I'll definitely...
Yeah, you tried to mangle that as well, you fucking...
Yeah, Sean raised the toughness. Right, so here's how toughness is calculated, and this is how basically a rating of how difficult it is to damage something. It's 2 plus half your vigor stat, right? So that means, and bear in mind that goes up to D12. So D12, right? So it'd be 6 plus 2. So that is 8. So the highest is 8, right?
Yeah.
Then you factor in like an animal can have natural armor. It could be gigantics, adding to its toughness. Could have the edges like block, bruiser, things like this. But Sean's brawny, yeah. So Sean's we're finding these monsters at 20 toughness, 20.
No, there was 15, but the next.
So that means
the next one was 12, but that was actually statted in the book.
it wasn't 15. It was higher than 21 to try and get it shaken.
No, we had to get it wounded. It was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but it was obscene.
But I remember looking at it and I was just like, so it had a D15 in vigour, and I was like, does it have natural armour? And Sean looked down his sheet. No, it doesn't. So he admitted to just artificially inflating the toughness.
The dragon did have.
You inflated it.
No, don't.
You said
don't
at the
sort of-
time. You said at the
Scaly
time.
hide.
Yeah,
You
he
said-
had a scaly hide, but it wasn't a stat on his sheet.
Yeah, and also it would.
No.
Yeah, but it also wouldn't have given him a +5 like plus 10.
It was 3.
But
Lies.
you tried to
Alright.
forego the mechanics of the game, which make the game work.
Yeah,
You tried to make it not work, but we still fucked it
did.
up.
we still fucked up.
I did a bit, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, you did. It's all right. Don't worry about it. But yeah, you settled on Pathfinder, and I think. But for me, I've really Savage Worlds and DCC really are the games that I'm always excited to play and always have
About
fun with.
D&D.
Yeah, and D&D 5e as well. Like I bang that out once in a while. Do you know what I mean? And like I enjoyed the recent campaign a lot when I had some great characters. But then I'm less inclined nowadays to
Branch out, try new things.
because I've got all the things.
There's also just a lot of effort. If you think about it, right, the amount of time, effort, and money that was spent to invest in those new games, new systems, to learn about it, to then run it, to have a really. One of them was ended up being disappointing, right?
Yeah, well,
we were
Bubblegum
like-
Crisis was a rare book at the time. It cost me a lot of
and
money.
we were like really excited about it. It was great. The story was cool, but then we slowly learnt that the mechanics of it was fucking. It was just
whack.
bollocks.
But that reminds me as well.
And
Cyberpunk
Lamentations as well.
Lamentations, had some very very good points about it. But when we put
It's like it's only one shot worthy, really.
it was the same with it was the same with OSR things, right? And that's actually going to be we're going to cover that in the next segment. But the OSR things is like they were just really fundamentally boring to play. But like I say, that was part of me sort of settling on a game, right?
Yeah.
And now if we talk about like all of the new stuff coming out, being third party products or things that just reuse other rules like OSR things, and it's like, but so then there's nothing really interesting coming out. So the interesting games that I've got, I'm sticking with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a bit like, so then what do we have to talk about? Do you know what I mean? It's sad.
I suppose we could continue looking stuff up, but in all honesty, look, I've tried to write an episode for this podcast, and I can't. I've done some bits, but I can't. Harrison's the main guy, and
Thanks, man.
his time and effort, just hasn't got it in him anymore. So
Well, no, I don't. But part of the reason is because I have to be motivated.
yeah,
And like I said,
That's the whole point,
if there's
isn't
nothing
it?
interesting, like I can't muster up the courage to speak about yet another fucking OSR game with one rule changed. Do you know what I mean? Or muster up the courage to be enthusiastic about yet another scummy product released on
I mean,
Drive-Thru RPG.
I think someone, I think it was Jamie explained it to me the other day, or mentioned it. The new D&D 5e rules coming out where they're going to try and combat min-maxers.
Yeah, it's they're not calling it 6th edition. They're calling it D&D 1.
Yeah,
I know
that's stupid.
very little about it, but yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Why do you want to
combat
combat anything though? Just
That's
Just
because
let 'em-
to try and get rid of the people that min-max all the time. I understand that's a great thing, but it's just like, okay,
it's up
but
to you how you want to play though, innit?
Yeah, but also you have to remember that this game has organised play as well. So they have I can't remember what you call it, but
Tournaments.
No, Wizards, they will do, so they have these adventure modules. You go, you play a character at one, the next time Wizards of the Coast are doing an event, you take your character and you play the next episode, and it's organised play where you're actually part of this big thing. So doing that, I can understand why they want to combat min-maxers, because it's a lot of people do play with strangers with that game, but way more, but it being the most popular one. So I can understand that.
another thing I feel about the industry, which is, it was good, but I feel like it's bad at the same time. So because of the age of digitalisation, everything is now on demand. So we know Wizards of the Coast did D&D Beyond, which is fucking stupid because you have to pay for an app to access stuff in the book, yeah?
And have to repay for your books.
Yeah. So they're making it more accessible for players, which was a good idea. The price tag on it, however, I don't agree with. But then now everything is going down that path. Like you can get anything on the internet, and those resources, I would say, all of them are amazing and great, particularly the free ones. But then it means that there's so much out there to use at any one time. it's quite overwhelming, and there's too much for newbies to come along. You can't say use this app, it's really user friendly, because for instance, the game that I played at work, I knew to reference the book because it had page numbers in it, and I had my book with me, so I was doing it just to learn other bits that I had that wasn't statted down. And then but the new people at the table, they didn't have that privilege because it wasn't explained to them, and it shouldn't have to be explained to them either.
No, definitely not.
But imagine if you went, oh yeah, get this app or start referencing that. They will spend an uncommon amount of time reading up on bits to try and understand. I knew obviously how to play and etc. So I just wanted to look at one thing that I was unaware of. But it's like
People are accustomed to different things as well.
Well, and I think that also, everything being on demand and everything like this is part of the reason we get so many naff third-party products, and it's all but most of it's just rules bloat. It's not actually adding anything.
It's also
to the game.
microtransactions for everything. All the fucking bigwiggers just want to take money from everyone. It's just like, give everyone access to everything and just have it.
Well, I don't know what.
It's like they've gone, oh no, we've released a really good product that people can just use over and over.
Well, and look at the Cyberpunk Red app as well. That was, okay, they did charge you for it even if you had the book, but bear in mind, if you got the book second hand, it means they can still make a little bit of cash. But it was just a £5 one payment. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's really
and
actually
you got
really
all
good.
the updates.
Yeah, exactly. I've still got it on my phone, even though we haven't played in a while. But no, I agree.
Did I buy it? I still got it.
I think you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that is another part of the reason why it's become less interesting as well. But yeah, and like you say, it's not that I don't have it in me to publish, to do a podcast. Right, I really enjoy doing this. But it's just that the subject matter now doesn't excite me as much as it once did.
Well, the research I know is can be mind-numbingly fucking taxing.
It's extensive, and then we'll get to that in the forgotten archives. But that's a big part of the reason why the podcast is going on hiatus. Does anyone have anything else to say about the industry being less interesting now?
I mean, if I say nothing, that sort of adds to the point.
It does, doesn't it? The Goon RPG.
Buy it now.
Buy it now. Do not buy it now. It's rubbish. I think that's it, isn't it? We covered everything, basically, about everything being a bit whack now, or less interesting to speak about.
There's just a lot, like just in general, like all the films that are coming out are regurgitations of old films. That's what the RPG industry is a bit like.
But before it wasn't that. No. And now it is that.
It was new stuff, new cool stuff.
Even the new stuff that came out was interesting. Like, you look at the D20 boom, right? And that was another case where this fucking thing happened, where you had the D20 rules were able to be used by anyone, right? And then everything and anyone released an RPG, but it was companies doing it. And we had things like the really bad Buffy the Vampire Slayer RPG, the WWF RPG, like everything had a D20 RPG, even if that system really didn't fit. And that's the same with fucking OSR shit. There's an OSR game for everything. I tell you why. It's because it's easy to write for. That's why people do it.
They've killed that market now.
It's fucking dead. I fucking hate it. And we'll get into that later. But I think like before, where if something came out, it would at least be noteworthy, or most of the time would be noteworthy, right? And now it's just like any other industry where you really have to get into the muck or to figure out what the good things are, or they're just not released for many, many years. Yeah. I think the next time something big and exciting comes back, we'll do another podcast. And
the thing is, unfortunately, it's the stuff is so uninteresting and unexciting that in order to actually find something of subject to pour out there would take so much more time.
Yeah, and we just got to wait for something good to come out. So yeah,
it's like owning a Nintendo console.
So it's exactly like that. That is exactly what it's like. And it was funny because they did that recent Nintendo Direct where they were like, Fantasian, which is a fucking great game, by the way, play it. It's coming to Nintendo Switch. And I was like, oh, mate, my controllers are fucked. I'm going to have to buy new ones. Then I saw, and PC. And I'm like, oh, well, yes. not dusting the Switch off after all. So the podcast is going to go on hiatus. And if something huge happens that we find really fucking interesting, like maybe second edition of DCC or something,
we'll
some
definitely pop
wild drama, we'll pop back up. And we'll keep the feed open.
We did also discuss the fact that we're considering doing at least a yearly episode, maybe, of what we've experienced.
Yeah, because we're still going to play, and I still love the process of playing. And in fact, but we've settled on some really fucking good games, and it's really good. But yeah, we're probably going to do a yearly one, and then if something massive happens, we'll we'll come back.
We'll report on it, yeah.
Now, the thing is that what you've got... Sorry, my wife's having an argument with my son in the next room. What you've got to do is just remain subscribed, because if a new episode comes out, we'll bash it onto the feed, right?
Yeah.
The only thing is that I'm going to stop the Patreon, because it did feel a bit shitty still taking it, and we haven't done an episode in like 4 months. I mean, that's a bit out of order, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
well, we're ever so grateful for the patrons that kept their subscription open.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I really, really do. And as a result, I will be graciously keeping...
We'll change it to episodically, so that if we pop something out and you want
Actually, that's a good
if
idea.
you want to contribute, know that you will, but it will be like in a year.
In a year's time, when we finally put up an
We'll
episode.
get that $1.
Yeah, that does mean that the subscription to our SoundCloud, where everything is hosted, will it should expire, meaning that some of the episodes will come off of your feed. So I would say download them all now. But in addition, if you still want to listen to them, they're all archived on YouTube anyway and Podbean. So
I could spot a couple hosting fees for a couple months.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's pointless, man. You'll just be like the patrons.
It's archived on YouTube.
They're all out there somewhere.
History.
There's even one missing episode that's still on YouTube, so you can have a look there. History. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, before when we spoke about when my wife got very ill, we spoke about having to do the podcast a lot less regularly because my life
make it more infrequent, less scheduled in.
Spoke about on there about how much I've enjoyed doing this, and that remains the same. So I'm not going to go over it again. But yes, stay subscribed, and you'll get one every so often. It'll be a little treat once a year, maybe.
I might even reply to messages on Discord as well.
Do not. They don't want you.
Mate, I never fucking go on that Discord.
You have like twice.
Oh wait, I need to be asked.
There was a one time.
If people want me to feature on the Discord, I'll do my utmost to try.
It's boring in there, man. They're just fucking idiots, a lot of them.
Yeah, just like us.
Yeah, so I love it. No, it's a really nice group of people on the Discord. I'll put the link in the description, so we can keep that going and everyone can go in there and chat to each other. Sean very rarely goes in there, but the one time he did, people asked him to share his Savage to Fallout stuff, because that guy who made that actually really interesting third-party product...
Yeah, that was great.
He... unfortunately, they're not hosted on his site anymore, so Sean has them. Somebody asked him to share them. He shared them in the docx format.
What the fuck?
It's Microsoft Word, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Microsoft
telling
Word
us that.
format. Who uses Microsoft Word anymore? Do you use Microsoft Edge as well?
No, I don't.
You liar. You're a Bing user. I know you are.
No,
You're
I
a Bing.
Firefox.
You're Bing.
No, I use Google.
Firefox?
What the fuck?
I use Google Chrome, innit?
Not.
But,
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I released it in Word, so that more.
Released it.
You released it.
I released it, mate.
I did.
You distributed
Sean
it.
Hunt presents.
I distributed it, and it was on Word because I thought more people might use Word.
Sean,
Are you
it's
an
a
idiot?
fucking
Are you
PDF.
an idiot?
It's a good product.
What's a good product?
Microsoft.
Word.
Yeah.
No,
bro.
no.
But it originated in the PDF form. Why not just
He's
share like
converted it.
I should have
He's
done.
that? He
converted it
converted
into Microsoft Word.
into a subpar.
It did
Into
take
a format nobody
subpar.
uses. Into a format everyone uses. Every device in the
You know
world
what
has
PDF?
PDF on
Do you know
it.
what PDF stands for?
Yeah, it does.
What?
Personal digital.
No. Portable. Portable digital format.
Personal document.
That's the whole
thing.
fucking point. It's meant to be distributable.
Yeah.
You're a
So
madman.
you just cucked everyone in the group.
Yeah.
Everyone was really excited to look at it. He shared it, then never came back and
guys,
shared the PDF.
look, if you want me on there, let me know, and then I'll share the fucking PDF.
James knows what he's doing. Actually, you've dealt with all the technical stuff for this podcast basically the whole time. So thanks very much, Sean. You've
Sort of been a cunt.
you have done Conspiracy Corner. That's true.
Yeah,
But the two of you really have leached on Nick's success, who couldn't be here today.
Jobless.
Jobless. He's 40 now. Can you believe
He
that?
is.
I thought he was so much older though.
What's funny is
Why do you keep saying? It's just because you're
needed to
creeping
say
on.
it for the
You're
podcast.
creeping on the age.
Sean's just ragging on him because
He's
Nick
almost there.
did a better job than Sean did when he
No,
was.
Well, Nick did
he
create
a good
it
job.
with you.
I like Nick. He's a good guy.
He did
but-
create it with me, but then
No, I just thought he was older. That's
shut
all.
up. Do you know that I was listening to recently the Monty Python episode that we did for reasons you'll find out in a minute, listeners. And it was the first episode we did where Nick was not on the podcast, and none of us wanted to reveal why he was not on the podcast. And what's funny is, listeners, I'll just say it, it's not that bad. Nick and I are still friends, obviously. We're all still friends with Nick, right? And we actually met up semi-recently, didn't we? Went quad biking, but
But, oh yeah.
about a year ago. But Yeah, he just moved away without telling anyone. So that was it, wasn't it? We found out like 2 days before he moved up north that he was moving up north. And he's like, sorry, I just didn't want to upset you. Like, he's a people pleaser. He's lovely. But he was just like, didn't want to upset anyone. You know what I mean? It's like, but Nick, we do a podcast together, man. What the fuck is happening?
Quite upsetting.
So he couldn't do the hobby anymore. And also
it just meant the logistics around it all were really difficult.
It was a faff, yeah.
His input into the RPG industry was lessened because he didn't play that much.
He didn't. We did 3 Alien games in the course of like a year and a half. And they were amazing, to be fair. But
No, Nick is a fantastic GM.
he's one of the best, man.
Did you ever get his RPG stuff?
That makes me look like an absolute cunt. No, I
That's
did.
got to be cut.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, you-
No, look, he
It was
doesn't.
more of a-
You get
It's
it.
more of a joke.
He doesn't.
Did you ever ask to have
Look,
to get some?
Did you ever,
Nick, if you're listening, mad respect, seriously.
did you ever politely ask him?
Yes, I did. And it does make me look like a cunt. No, James, don't look like that. Because I just said to him, look, considering that you don't really play anymore, is there any chance I could make you an offer for some of the things that you have? That's it. That's fair enough, isn't it?
That's quite nice.
You asked to buy some of the stuff that he's got.
Yeah, I was very, very nice about it. And he said that it's got massive sentimental value and he doesn't want to
Yeah,
sell
yeah.
it, which is fair enough.
That's nice.
But he will dust stuff
Sean,
up every now and then.
was suggesting that I just go, Nick, you don't play anymore, give me your books. Like,
I never said that.
Sean, mate.
No, I never.
Sean,
to be,
what the
to,
fuck
to
is
be
your
fair,
problem?
I think
never-
I hope that once he has some more space in his life, because he changed to a new job, he
Yeah.
moved away without telling anyone, and then he's very busy. So I understand, and I reckon once he has some more space in his life, he will come back to the hobby, and hopefully we'll play a few online games with him. But who knows? Who
Can't
knows?
wait, mate.
I hope so.
It was good to start the podcast with him, and he was a fantastic host and a good mate. I mean,
was, yeah.
but
He had absolute riz. That's what the fucking gen, whatever they are saying.
he had the
nowadays,
Riz, and he got real skibbity on it, and he was
Skibbity toilet.
one of the most skibbity GMs I've ever glazed. You know what I mean?
I don't understand it.
But yeah, no, and it was obviously your two's contribution has been fucking amazing as well. Sean, you've
I've done some stuff.
you've
innit?
I was fortunate to appear
I
on
thought-
episode 3, wasn't I?
I
You
put
were,
some-
mate.
I
Yeah,
put
yeah.
some smiles on some faces, you know.
Well, no, you put some hatred in people's hearts, but
No, but that's also good because it unifies.
It's been a good laugh doing this podcast for you two. I just don't like being sincere about things. So you're both
Cunts.
a pair of cunts.
yeah.
And not to be
Caniston
racist, not to
duo.
be racist or anything, right? But Asian people. Anyway,
chicken, you know.
so I,
Is that a car horn? Because they
no, have you not seen that Vine meme? I can't do. You know that throaty laugh people have.
Oh no,
Not to be racist or anything, but Asian people.
yeah. I used to be able to
Because
do
I
it.
thought it was a car horn because they're bad at driving, innit?
Yeah, but did you not see that Nathan For You episode where he proves that Asian people weren't bad at driving?
I mean, I don't really believe it. I was just being stupid.
I've seen James drive. He's a very good. Do you remember? I don't know why this just reminded. This is fucking completely irrelevant. But do you remember in your old car that was slightly battered?
Yeah.
When he had this horn that would only activate about 1/10 of the time, and you had to really smack it to get it to work. And there was a time where James was really angry at a driver in front of him, and he was punching it like, and then he punched it once, and it went. It's not the most wimpy beep
It was
ever.
meant to be aggressive.
It was like you wanted to do one of them long ones, but it was just. Bip. Right. Anyway, that's it for the main subject. RPG industry. Look, keep us posted in the Discord. If something genuinely interesting, noteworthy, funny, bizarre, shocking comes out, do let us know because we will come back and do an episode on it.
Yeah, we're not binning it, we're shelving it.
We're shelving it. We're just getting shelved, mate. But let's go on to the Forgotten Archives. We're going to talk about... these are all the subjects we wanted to do, or at least most of them, that didn't get a full episode.
Yeah, we wanted to full episode all of these, but fuck you.
Yeah, I'll tell you the reasons. So the first one is Forgotten Archives. These are I think I've got 4 here. All episodes we wanted to make a whole episode about, but either were too short, didn't have time, things like this. So the first one is the time TSR got raided by the FBI. Now, you hear me right? A while ago now, we spoke about Steve Jackson Games getting raided by the Secret Service when his cyberpunk supplement for GURPS was confused for a manual for cybercrime, right? But a similar thing actually happened to TSR back in the day, and it's unfortunately this is why I didn't get a full episode, because it's not really extensively documented like the Steve Jackson one. But here's the details. So in January January 17th, 1908, the FBI learned about an assassination attempt on an American executive by the name of William Weatherby, right? Who was at the time in Lebanon, staying there. The plans for this murder were written on TSR stationery and were found in Wisconsin, where the TSR offices were situated. So, a concerned citizen that came across the murder plans forwarded them to the FBI. And it wasn't long before the FBI kicked down the doors of TSR, and you'll never guess what, right, lads? Here's the big twist. William Weatherby, the assassination target, he didn't exist. So when the FBI burst in, they didn't find a group of international hitmen, but a bunch of nerds working on a game called Top Secret, which was TSR's, yeah, there you go, TSR's second ever RPG after D&D. It was a spy game, and part of said game was an adventure about an assassination attempt on an NPC called William Weatherby. And our Top Secret did contain a lot of realistic looking handouts. I've actually got it on my shelf. That was an episode we never got to, reviewing that.
Yep.
Fuck. All right, well, maybe we'll come back next week and we'll do it. Anyway, yeah, it contained loads of realistic looking handouts. So when it says, like, Top Secret, here's this information about an assassination attempt, it looked like a real document.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have maybe, well, they didn't have Google, did they? They should have Alta Vista'd TSR and seen there was a games company, but there we go.
When you said 1908, did you mean 1998?
I meant 1980. That's a big error there. 1980. Yeah, because that was long before Gary Gygax was even alive. But anyway, so yeah, you can see why the FBI took it seriously, because it looked very realistic. But still, it's funny as fuck, because it seems the FBI at the time were just mostly raiding RPG publishers rather than doing anything real. But that's all the information that there is about
job for a bit, eh?
Yes, yeah, exactly. But yeah, there we go. TSR also got raided by the Secret Service. So that, unfortunately, that's all the information on the incident, which is why you can see it didn't get a full episode.
That is a shame.
Next one I want to talk about is the biggest liar in the RPG industry. Now,
Sean.
That's
Patrick Fannin.
Sean Patrick Fannin he was very upfront about the fact that he was a rapist.
Oh, I suppose.
Just I thought I heard children outside. I wasn't looking for Sean Patrick. Yeah, he's finally getting revenge for that GIF I made of him. The biggest liar in the RPG industry, right? This was an episode actually I got really far into making. I think I made 22 pages of notes before beginning. I know, it's such a shame. But
22 pages?
I hit a fucking snag with it where there was days and days and days, like full days of work that I needed to do to collate some proof. But I'll talk about that in a minute. The RPG Pundit, right? This is the guy we're talking about. He's a man I once interviewed on this show, and I'd say he's mostly famous, or mostly infamous, for making OSR products and for rumours about his apparent bigotry. People think he's a racist, a homophobe, things like this. Which I will say, I don't know if I subscribe to the belief that he is any of those things. He's a right-wing person and a Trump supporter, which means he has questionable taste in leaders, but that's not why I wanted to talk about him. The reason I wanted to talk about RPG Pundit is because I happen to be a fan of his stuff for a while, or mostly the ideas of his stuff. I bought his book, Lion and Dragon, which claims to be a completely historically accurate OSR medieval game. It's still a fantasy game, but it's based on the actual myths at the time, so what people believed at the time rather than the big melting pot of myths that D&D is. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, what was that? The Beast of Bodmin Moor would be an example of a beast that would be in the game, rather than, say, a mummy, right? You see what I mean? Yeah. It's based on what people believed at the time. And RPG Pundit claims to have a degree in history, right? So you know it's going to be authentic. That's a big selling point. It's a book made by a historian, and so on.
We played it.
We played one session, yeah, and it was all right. But so I read the whole book, right? And the Lion and Dragon rules book is quite good. But there's also a setting book for the system called Dark Albion, which is a book containing historically, mythically accurate version of the War of the Roses, right? So it's a setting book set during that particular war. You can play in it. All the mythical things that appear in the book are historically accurate and line up with genuine beliefs at the time. But do they, though? Because in the book, Dark Albion, France is called Frogland, or something like that, and the French people are all frog people. So it's a country of frog people, right?
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't take a fucking historian to know that's probably untrue, or that it was probably not a genuinely held belief at the time. But I did reach out to a history researcher mate of mine who is a history researcher at Cambridge, right? He's actually a proven uni goer, right? That's his job. And what I suspected is true. Nobody has ever sincerely believed France to be populated by frog people. So suddenly, sort of the selling point of this game, it being historically accurate, made by somebody who knows what he's talking about, sort of falls apart. So what's the point in actually buying it? So we come to why I never made this a full episode. The extent of RPG Pundit's lies, mistruths, and everything are so extensive that you can easily be called the industry's biggest liar. And as I said, I never found the time to actually collate the proof, because I had to re-listen to every podcast he's ever done and get clips from that. Re-watch all of his YouTube videos and get clips from that. Go through all of his books and point out the inaccuracies. And I got very far into making the episode, but never finished it. And I'm aware that a big part of that, the proof is sort of the big thing, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have the proof, and I never collated it. But I'll just tell you what I found out, and then you guys the listeners can go and research it and confirm that what I'm saying is true. Is that fine? Is that all right to talk about?
Yeah, you can say what you believe is incorrect
here's
without
what
the proof at the moment.
Yeah, no, because I just do not have the time to do that. But just fact check everything that I'm saying here. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I fact checked stuff at random from Dark Albion. Literally, I was sitting in by my computer, just flipped to a random page, put my finger on it, and fact check it. Right, because there's this big bit where he has a big timeline of events that happened. And about half of the time it was untrue, or slightly wrong, or completely made up. Like there's no information about it anywhere. I went through every YouTube video he had ever done, specifically in the drama videos where he talks about things liberals have said to him on Twitter. He'll be like, somebody said this, and he'll make a big 20-minute video about how they're wrong and how he owned them and what RPGs are meant to be and things like this. But he never linked the original tweet, and I know this is a bit calling the kettle black here, but he never linked the original tweets of these supposed conversations that happened, and nothing of the sort of what he was saying actually happened could be found on his Twitter, meaning they were likely made up. Additionally, he has an online alter ego, right? And this is something he's tried to hide, but I tell you this for a good reason, right? This comes from a good place, right? Don't think I'm just ragging on the guy. Ragging. But he has an online alter ego by the name of Swami Anand Nisarg, right? And he does spiritual videos and writings. And during my research, I got into his Swami Persona's private Facebook page by feigning interest to RPG Pundit in it. Like I pretended that I was interested. That's a bit terrible, but trust me, this is for a good reason. I did it for a good cause, and I'll get to it at the end. Anyway, importantly, in loads of his videos and his podcasts, he claims to be incredibly rich. And even in one of them, refers to himself as a superstar because he was once consulted on for D&D 5e. And his role in that is also very confusing. He says a lot of things that probably didn't happen. But anyway, so he claims to be incredibly rich and be a superstar. But on his Swami Facebook page, he was begging his followers to buy him bifocal glasses, which is a bit weird, right? And no, I'm not just digging into this man's history and digging him out. Trust me, it really sounds like this. And additionally, his house is not a rich man's house. Now, look, none of this is an issue, right? I'm broke as fuck. But it does demonstrate he's a man who lies often. He lies about books being accurate, fabricates fake drama, claims to have come up with the advantage/disadvantage rule in 5e, lies about being stinking rich. So then we have to ask the following question. Did he really go to uni? Is he really a historian? Because if the answer is no, which now we know it might be, are his historical products essentially a grift? Are they basically a scam?
Yeah.
Because the main selling point, it might be untrue. We know that the information isn't true in there. We know that he lies a lot and might not even be a historian, so the information is probably incorrect anyway.
Well, so if he's also a historian and a Swami, then, you know, it's probably lies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just to get you to quickly buy the book, then you find out that it's a bit shit, and then you've already bought it.
Exactly. and also bear in mind, right, look at Lamentations of the Flame Princess. Look at the amount of people that buy that based on the fact that James Raggi is a controversial figure. They actually want to own liberals by buying the right-wing guy's product.
Yeah.
So why then would RPG Pundit pretend to be a controversial figure, make that stuff up? It's a part of the grift. And to be honest, his products are mostly lazy reskins of OSR. It's like the OSR grift, right? So his selling points for his books are lies. That's why I think this information was important. It's not just me going, I hate him, he's a cunt. I'm saying, don't spend your money on his books. They're a scam. That's what I'm saying. So it's not that I was just trying to... I didn't dig into the man's personal life on purpose. I should point that out as well. I stumbled across it because I was buying a spiritual book from Amazon, and I noticed that he had a YouTube channel, and I noticed the man's voice was very similar. Did a bit of digging. It's him. But yeah, so it's worth bearing in mind that he definitely is not as controversial as he says he is. He's mixed race, bilingual, and an immigrant, and the first person to include a trans person on the cover of an RPG. So we know that him being controversial is a lie, or it's just people parroting things they've heard somewhere else. We know that the conversations he's having on Twitter never happened. So yeah, a good chunk of it is made up, and it's a grift. He is literally a scam. His products are a scam.
An attention whore.
Yeah, that, and it's to get money. And to be honest, like me, you know, he might be on a low income, and that's fine. Doesn't matter. But the point is, he does give a motive for why he wants to scam people.
I imagine he's probably rich, but then he's got the Swami poor persona where he gets free stuff.
Do you know what? Maybe. I mean, the thing is, we can't say that for certain, but it's likely, though, isn't it? It's likely, isn't it? Because his products are a scam. You look at Inline and Dragon, for example. You know, like in very, very like BXD&D, the different race was class, right? So dwarf is a class in DCC, for example. And in this, it's just the dwarf is just reskinned. It's just he's made it Scottish people. That's it. So Scottish is a class that you can play, and it's just a lazy reskin with very, very lazy rules, house rules added on top. I mean, they're a grift. They're a big grift. His whole persona is a grift, and they're a scam. Now, like I said, I could have proven everything. It's all on his YouTube channel, in his podcast, all of this. Just go and do the research yourself. I can't be bothered. Okay. But like I said, I didn't want to just dig into a man's life unnecessarily, but it does prove that it's probably a scam what he's doing. Should we get on to the next one?
Yeah.
The other one I wanted to make was an episode called The OSR as a Grift.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've sort of gone over that a little bit already, haven't we?
We have.
But it's just people reusing the same rules, and I'll tell you what, there are some outliers that are doing genuinely innovative, cool things with it, right? OSE is not one of them. I got rid of those books. It's just the same rules reprinted, and okay, it's good because you can now get them in print, where you couldn't before. So that's the one good thing that comes out of it. But do you know why people make lazy reskins with a couple of house rules of your favourite fantasy RPG? It's because it's easy. That's why.
It's easy, and you can just quickly sell it.
Black Hack, White Hack, Shadow Dark, all Labyrinth Lord, all of these are essentially the same thing, but reskinned with a couple of house rules in there that the author didn't like. It's a grift. Doesn't count for a full episode, I don't think. But DCC is technically not an OSR because it uses a 3.5 rule set. But DCC and ICRPG are two very, very good examples of somebody putting effort in. Shadow Dark is an example of one where people put effort in with the art. Black Hack is the same. White Hack is naff. But yeah, most of it is just a big grift. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on?
Yes.
James, I know you're excited for this one. The Monty Python RPG is shit, and I was right. So, following our last episode, James... the last episode we did on the Monty Python RPG, you actually kickstarted it with your own money.
I kickstarted it with my own money. I still haven't got the physical book or the cool slingshot
Fucking hell, where is that
slingshot. It was meant to come to me October last year.
Come on. Right, so because you put your own money, I did offer to pay with a Patreon, listeners, just bear that in mind, but because you put your own money into it, you've been very eager for us to do this episode, right? Yeah. But I tell you what, the trouble is that most of the rules they gave away are on their Kickstarter we covered, and it was basically like, yeah, I was right, and I didn't want to just do a whole episode. I mean, I did make a whole episode saying that people who play Crystal Heart are cucks just to get revenge on somebody that annoyed me. But in this case, it was the Monty Python RPG. I was right about most of it, so we really couldn't get a full episode about that. But I have read it, and here's a few points that I wanted to talk about. Essentially, all of the rules that we spoke about in the Kickstarter amounted to a lot of useless renamings of normal mechanics, self-perceived humorous writing done by the game's two American writers who completely misunderstood Monty Python, including, but not limited to, not realising that the Monty Python film The Holy Grail is actually set in the modern day. Sadly, James, you kickstarted this RPG, and we're going to do a full review of it, but as I just said, it was, it would have been a bit too short, I think. But we also saw that during the last episode we saw that they didn't include any of the original creators even in overseeing roles, and attempted to do British humour, and that is here in this book as well.
That's
and
terrible.
they're very, very unfunny. Now, as I said at the time, the book does take the Holy Grail literally, and this book is all about medieval shit, despite the fact that the Holy Grail is actually a satire of modern politicians set in the modern day, a theory which I went into detail on episode 105. But one of the main points was this, the Head of Light Entertainment thing. Do either of you remember this? Head of Light Entertainment?
Yeah, I do.
See, in the Monty Python RPG, the GM is the head of Light Entertainment, and he's supposed to GM the game in character the whole time, a reference to the Light Entertainment Awards sketch from episode 39 of Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Yeah, but that's just like hitting someone over the head with the same joke, eh?
Over and over and over.
But they don't understand the joke either.
No, they don't. They don't. We proved last time that they didn't understand the spam sketch either. They just think it was funny because people are saying spam randomly, and if that annoys you, then there's a lot of that in this game. But anyway, the GM thing, the whole they call it, basically what it is the GM is in character the whole time. There's 18 different personalities you roll randomly. At the end of each game, one of them dies, right? But your characters in game are supposed to please the head of Light Entertainment, who they can't see or know exists, to earn merits and demerits, right? Which basically they can help you in the game.
They basically just copied Made RPG.
Exactly, and we mentioned this before, right? But in Made, the GM isn't in character the whole time, but the head of the house in it is in the game, and you have to appease him. And he can have any personality that you choose. So it's like that. Imagine that, but shitter.
Yeah.
And you've got this.
Well, in Made you have what are the positives and negative things that you can have?
You add your stress level.
Yeah, that's it.
That can be fucked up, or if you do something right, you can take away stress, and then you add stress explosions, right?
Yeah.
Now, in this, it's just that the GM is in character all night for some reason, and you earn merits and demerits, which would be annoying, right? Almost straight away. But in addition to this, players are supposed to learn how the head of Light Entertainment ticks and play their characters completely differently each time to earn his respect, right? And if they continue to play their characters as they did before, they might actually get demerits, right? So, and every session the GM plays a new hole because the previous one is killed in some hilarious way, which is funny. Now, it's a comedy game, right? So likely your characters are going to be funny, right? So maybe there's people hearing this that think, oh yeah, but it's funny, you change your personality every time. But let's say you make a character that's a comedy version of Jeeves, right? This is just a very basic observation I came up with, right? So he's orderly to a T, calm and collected, even the most ludicrous of situations, right? So it's not like you're creating a serious character. The thing that's funny about him is that there can be food flying all around, an octopus flying out the sky, anything going on, and he remains calm. So you're creating a serious guy that is funny within that setting, right? He could, like, everyone could be in a pitched battle around him and he's calmly making tea for the guys on his side, right? Well, in this case, if the GM is playing the character of Gary Belladonna, who favours PCs who behave in an orderly fashion and respect authority, you're going to get benefits from the GM, right?
Yep.
Because you're playing the Jeeves guy. So, next session, let's say Jeeves survives and the GM is now playing Lord Kinwoody. Well, this guy favours full frontal nudity and just saying the words, sit on my face, but hates prudishness. So what do? So it's Jeeves, now you play him for the whole night, and you have no way of earning merits. The whole game.
Or do you strip him down, keep him calm, but ask to be sat on the face sat on?
But that's what I'm saying. But in the character I'm thinking of,
he'd never
wouldn't
do
it,
no,
right?
No.
So now you've got a fundamental mechanic of the game that makes
but
it
the
fun.
whole point, right? Let's to reel it back a bit. What is this meant to be? A tabletop role playing game?
Yeah, but exactly.
And so you're meant to role play your character. You're not meant to fucking role play whatever the sex dungeon master wants.
Yeah, and so, and then suddenly, every game, everyone's acting in the same way because they're like, oh, I've just realised he likes full frontal nudity. So suddenly Jeeves, out of nowhere, despite liking proprietary, Well, he just takes his clothes
I
off.
suppose if you wanted to,
Because lol's so random.
if you want to keep in character, maybe his like bow tie gets stuck and then he starts walking and then like.
Yeah, you could do it by accident, and he's like, "I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
but
sir."
to have to purposely play that out because it's the hole's
sucks.
fucking. Basically,
Like, it might
the
have
hole
no
is a
rhythm.
cuck, right? And he just wants to be edged up.
In that case, he's edging. Microsoft edging.
Edgelord.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's like now you're going to have to create ludicrous situations where everyone is naked for no reason, and just it's like somebody's misinterpreted Monty Python's humour as being random. I think it's quite sudden, and it's like does whiplash, but it's not random. It's not anyway.
No, it was
I've got to say the
calculated.
best thing-
It's calculated. Yeah.
The best thing about this RPG is definitely the dice catapult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but don't fucking have.
it's not even there yet. He's just kickstarted this 2 fucking years ago or whatever. Now, in addition to this, right? So, like I said, your character now has no way of earning merits because the whole suddenly doesn't like the way he acts.
So
for
that means it's
a
more
whole
easy
game.
to demerit.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So suddenly your character's not only useless, but you're not going to roll for
So
shit all night.
presumably the demeritations, that's the life thing.
I think
the
it-
amount of demerits and you die.
I think it takes away from your dice chain, so you go
Okay.
down dice. But yeah, so in addition to this, right, you now have a bunch of NPCs sitting around, a bunch of PCs, sitting around inserting "sit on my face" into every conversation,
Tits and dicks out.
which is literally not very funny. And with the types of people that quote Monty Python at RPG, imagine how insufferable this would be to play.
The only one that's always worth mentioning at a very short burst and only once is "Neh,"
Yeah, but that's what
because
that's all the
of
Americans.
RPG.
They do it
Yeah.
though.
But that's it like once. You know, if there's a night, and we had a nights of "Neh," and then it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also the
Next.
"tis but a scratch." Everyone does that as well. But also, how do your characters in the game know to change character?
Because they're always breaking a fourth wall.
You've been hired by you're hired by.
It's fourth wall breaking. I suppose that's kind of all right, but there's no real in-universe reason. Also, the book loves the smell of its own farts. I mean, the actual game mechanics, right, are really fucking simple, and everything we covered in the Kickstarter is in there, right? But because simple rules are easy to do, but instead the book goes down the route of trying to be funny by writing humorous entries on various tables you can roll on, right? So in their eyes, the comedy is happening mainly in the book while you're reading it, where they think they're being funny, and there's no real mechanics to cause or encourage humorous situations in the game, like a good comedy game like Made, for example. So unless you count random situations that will occur as the result of the stupid head of light entertainment shit, basically there's nothing really funny actually happening. It's just people acting randomly. Anyway, like I said, they kind of think that randomness is hilarious. But anyway, let's talk about as I said, the book is full of really hilarious tables. Hilarious, I'm doing quotes here. Hilarious tables include, for example, a name generator. And these are some that I generated while I was writing this review. Nigel Chair. Actually, now I say it, that is quite funny. But another one was Coat Cereal Chair Paprika.
No.
That's a character name.
That's a bit shit.
It's so random though.
It's a bit wacky.
Nigel Chair is pretty funny though. But
that's a character.
But anyway, it's not actually. Yeah, but that's a character. Or a table for rolling a random table. That's funny, isn't it?
Well, like table flips. And
So you might roll a snooker table, bedside table. It's a table. It's hilarious, isn't it?
It's quite hard.
Don't laugh at that. Don't you dare laugh at that. When would that ever come up, though? That's my point.
I don't know.
You see a table. You're like next to you go into the room. You see a table next to the bed. It's a bedside table. I don't know. Let's find out. He's got a snooker table next to his bed. That's fucking funny, isn't it?
That is actually.
No, it isn't. It's not funny. Sean's loving
It doesn't make sense.
And like it's just randomness isn't necessarily that. Well, look, the table.
Come on, the table is funny.
No.
No, it isn't. No,
It's a humorous concept to have and never play out.
Yeah, that's it.
It's funny.
a joke. It's
when you read the book.
Like,
but what that means is
it's not good for rules, but like as a joke that we're talking.
when
about
you're reading the
that's
book.
fine.
When you're reading the book. But a game like Lowlife, for example, manages to be funny in the book and on the table.
Yeah.
This is not that. And look, it might be amusing reading the book, but it's just not when you're actually playing the fucking game. Table. One thing.
Bagofthebag.com.
We got to tell the story about that. We'll get back to Monty Python in a minute. Sean often talks himself in very weird ways. For example, his most recent character, Clarence Bullhorn from our D&D 5e game, his animals kept getting killed. That were his little companions. And he would say, "I'm going to go have to find me an animal." And Sean was walking home one day, he went through an alley and said that, and a woman was coming the other way.
Well, I'm going to have to find me an animal.
He said that to himself.
And she was like staring at me for a good long time, and it felt like minutes.
Why would you do that though? Just in public, like in your room, you might do it.
I went to the
Gonna have to
alleyway
find me an animal.
towards my house. I didn't think I was actually in public.
Idiot. But then, when you were in your own house...
Yeah, I mean, when I was in my own house and
You put a bag in a bag.
I put and then I said baginabag.com.
Really loudly.
Yeah, and
I turned around and his fucking housemate was in.
Yeah.
His face,
Right there.
he looked like he wanted to die.
It's like, just baginabag.com.
Why would he do that? It's so weird.
I'm in
He's
my own
actually
house,
hates it.
and I didn't think she was there. You know when you do sort of slightly sillier stuff. When
Do you know what? I have a bit of a funny one as well. It's similar to that. It's not quite me saying something stupid, but so at the shop I volunteer at, there was a guy, somebody that the boss knows, who came in to help for a day. Right, he was just doing the hoovering and that, so I didn't have to do it for fucking once. But what was funny was I I'm admitting to a lot of stuff. I was planning my MCC game at the time, and I had my notebook on the table, and just when there were no customers, I just note down ideas I had. I had to go downstairs to fetch an item for somebody, and when I came back, that little scrote was reading it.
Yeah.
He's reading my notes. And it was really weird as well because it had all this fucking weird notes about the Gnostic themes I had in there. All the, you know how I'd put a calendar on the front and I'd renamed all the books to like Wegs Day and like shit like this. I was like, he's just seen that. What must he think I'm doing? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, one nice thing I've got to say about Monty Python RPG is that the artwork is really fucking good. Like, it's cracking. It's done in, you know, that medieval style before perspective was invented. It's done like that, but it'll be like, I can't make it sound quite as amusing as it is, but there's like a picture of like a knightly guy with a baguette in his hand and shit like that. It's very...
So it's the Monty Python art that they had?
Yeah, the Terry Gilliam stuff. Yeah. They've captured it really fucking well, and it's a beautiful looking book. That's the one good thing I can really say about it, and Sean loves the table, so there you go. You've got two good things.
And you're like fucking, what's his, Vincent Chair or whatever his name was?
Nigel Chair. To be honest, I do now know that name was actually generated incorrectly. The one that was like John Coat Paprika Chair. You're supposed to do all four. I just did the first one and the last one for the first one. So Nigel Chair is pretty funny. But yeah, it's basically a worthless, useless piece of crap. Unless you think you want to read a book that's not really meant to be played, then it might be amusing. But there we go. Set in a world based on a misunderstanding of the source material, written by two people who think they are funnier than or just as funny as the Monty Python guys. Think about that. That is insane. Some of the finest, greatest minds comedy has ever seen. And these guys are like, we could do that. Fucking idiots. Exactly. Right, my God, we're running along with this one. Let's do some electro letters, shall we?
Yeah.
In the future, you will be able to send a letter or parcel from anywhere on the planet. This, sir, is the electro letter.
Well, this is a triple question that's happening here, right? Moonbeam, he says, my wife of 10 years has come out to me as a furry. What should I do? Dr. Mumson follows up, his wife of 10 years has come out to him as a furry. What should he do? Sid Summer Drink says, the previous poster is overly concerned about someone else's wife. What should I do? So Moonbeam, his wife's come out to him as a furry, and I believe this is true, by the way. So be respectful.
It's quite difficult because, like, is she still alright? Like, I mean,
we did learn in our exploration of furries when we did that episode that and this is not even an exaggeration. 100% of the time, furries, they put on a mask because they're hiding from something. I would probably suggest that your wife is to be respectful and that she's probably going through something and to be there for her so that she doesn't need to do this to feel okay.
Well, why don't you just ask her some questions and try and see if you can get in on it for a bit?
She might not even know why she's done it, though. You know what I mean?
But I mean, dress up as something that she likes and see how it works in a bedroom.
I mean, there was that video of that girl who acts like a wolf in her back garden and that.
I am looking at Jake! That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Wait, did she do that?
Yeah, she jumps around and goes, ow, ow, ow. Looks at Jake slyly. He is not paying any attention to me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the worst shit. Maybe that's this guy's wife.
Then she's lucky. You're a lucky man.
Who?
I don't know.
Yeah, look, just be respectful. She's probably going through something. Look,
Just
furries
talk
are
to
a very easy target to have a go at, aren't they?
Just like talk to her, see what's going on. Hopefully she doesn't like that stuff in the bedroom, because that could sort of kill the relationship if you don't like that stuff. But
what if it's a really sexy wolf that she's dressed up as?
Yeah.
And she does that voice like that girl from
I
TikTok.
don't find wolves sexy, so...
It's not about you.
I don't find...
This isn't about you,
about him.
Sean.
He might be a sicko.
No, but you said what if a really sexy wolf?
Yeah, but I mean sexy to him.
I'm usually quite empathetic, but I can't really get my head around a sexy wolf.
Well,
Okay, well, let's never ask Sean a
It's not
question
about getting your
again.
head round it. It's about getting your penis inside it.
Oh, God.
Sorry. No,
Oh,
that went
well,
too
you
far.
dropped
That went too
That
far.
was a bit-
That went-
fell off the
I am
cliff
sorry.
there.
I am sorry. I'm going to say the N-word.
No.
The N-word.
Whoa.
Sean, what's that song by Jay-Z and Kanye West? You can say it because it's just the song title.
Good friends in Paris.
Gentleman in Paris. If Sean were... this is Dr. Mumson. He says, if Sean were a level 2 DCC RPG PC, what would be a stat, class and occupation?
Island Boy.
We won't do this... Yeah, it'll be a third-party class
that's-
called Island Boy.
That's not a profession.
And
We found that out.
So his occupation would be singer, but with a question mark at the end. Right?
Singer?
And then, what about his? Yes, class would be Island Boy. His occupation would be singer? Question mark.
No, if I
And
was...
what's the unique ability? So fighters, they've got the was it heroic? The D die,
Yeah.
right? What would be the unique thing an Island Boy could do? Take a hit.
Get taken out by a 10-year-old.
Yeah, that would be it. That'd be at any point to cause a distraction. If there is a 10-year-old there, you can get floored by him.
Okay.
Sure, don't worry about it, man. Do you know what it is?
Sean.
You knocked your microphone.
Sorry.
Fucking hell.
Do you know what it is? Can you say something so I know it's working?
Hello.
Say something louder than that.
Louder.
Now.
Loudly.
Okay. Right, so do you know what it is though? Is your diet, right? Because you're a vegan, like you're a shit one. You definitely ate ice cream on holiday. He
Yeah,
did.
he
Sean
has
sent, us
dairy products.
Sean sent us a picture of a and this is what he always does, right? He'll admit to some smaller crime.
I didn't-
Nobody cares if you eat meat, Sean.
No, I didn't
But
eat.
here's the thing.
I didn't eat. I didn't eat the ice cream.
Shut
I'm
up.
just interested in it.
Shut up. He sent us he was in Greece, right, with work because he's a care worker, right? And you went there with some of your clients. Now, here's the thing, listeners. He sent us a picture of a bin of ice creams. It was like, here's the pay dirt or whatever. It's like, you definitely ate one. There's nothing wrong
No, I
with that.
didn't.
But
Eat,
then I said
did
to
eat some normal dairy ice cream. Yeah, admittedly, but I didn't.
See, this is what he always does. He'll go, no,
None of
look.
the-
You said on
none
the
of the
group.
cool
You
ones.
shut up. You said on the group. You were like, no, I had a few Coke floats, but that's it.
Yeah, I did.
But then it was the same with the fucking shard of crisps, the sausage crisps that you ate, where you were fisting
Yeah,
them
it's
into
a
your
shot.
mouth.
It wasn't like.
You were fisting them into your mouth all night. Then you were like, no, I ate one crisp. No, I ate a tiny shard. Nobody gives a fuck, Sean. It's only funny because anyway. Point is that your diet is the reason you've got an Island Boy physique. You need to get some more protein in you. Eat chicken. That's all right. They're there to be eaten. What do they do? They're not interesting.
They're buck, buck.
Not to you anyway, but
I would eat a chicken.
I don't want it because it's horrible, isn't it?
How is it horrible?
Mate, Sean, the amount of times I've
filthy.
eaten food in front of you and was, oh yeah, that looks great, that smells great, yeah, I
I'm
missed
just being
that.
nice.
No, you're not being nice, you're being genuine.
But meat does taste nice. But
Yes, exactly,
The
so-
practices around it. it's
No,
not
I can
okay.
look. I can understand that, but you want people to stop joking about you and take you seriously. Like, do you want? Hey, 10-year-olds are flooring you left, right, and centre. Right? That's not a good
B,
situation.
Only
10-year-olds
one-
are falling
only
you left,
one
right, and centre.
10-year-old. Only
3.
one. Okay.
Yeah, one, but he's done it about 8 times.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, that's Sean's stats as a DC RPG player character. What the fuck am I on about? Barkle the Infamous, he says, some of the art for 6th edition has been released, and the cheerful Mexican-looking orcs have attracted a special comment. Especial, sorry. Are we moving towards a D&D where nothing is a monster except undead slimes and constructs? I think yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the fucking D&D is getting too woke and they're trying to be too inclusive and then all this kind of shit. It's just like, no, it's all fantasy. It doesn't have to fucking meld into real world.
Orcs symbolise evil, not black people.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say, right?
I've never known someone in a wheelchair to want to play someone who's in a wheelchair.
Good point.
Yeah.
Right? We like to play things that aren't us. Why would you play? Imagine if you like the fact that they've made the orcs look Mexican. How offensive is that?
That's fucked
That's
up.
more offensive than what it was before, where people are saying, "Oh, people are using them for stand-ins for foreigners." It's like, yeah, but those are outliers. Those aren't people who we game with. It's wild to me. And now D&D are like, hey, if they are foreigners, they're cool. It's like, Yeah. Then you look at their page and it's like, orcs are usually chaotic evil. Oh, right, so Mexicans are too then. Well done, Wizard of the Coast. CJ, he says, what's your favourite magic artifact or relic from an RPG? And why would a lich hide it in a sleeping dragon's ass? Favourite magic artifact? We always say deck of many things. We'll take that as read, right? That's the one. Deck of many things.
Yeah, it is.
I've got to say, I do like Rod, the immovable rod.
Yeah, we've learnt how cool that is.
Because remember when you can get it stuck in midair and use it to climb up things.
It can go through an object, right?
No, but you can put it in front of any object and stop it from moving.
The gaming bone, the D20 from Pathfinder is also equally as good.
Good, I'm glad you explained that because I don't know what the gaming bone is and I don't want to know.
I can't remember what it's called, but it is called something.
It was a deck of many things like objects. Yeah, it was very cool. That was a cool one.
Yeah, the D20.
Immovable Rod is pretty good. Rod of Lordly Might, I just think has a funny name because it sounds a bit like a penis.
That is my penis.
Get your hands off my penis.
I see you know your judo.
Anyone else? Favourite artifact?
Bubble wand.
Bubble wand.
Hey, that was fucking sick when we were using it.
It's it was an item that I made, wasn't it?
No, you found it, but you didn't think it had much use, and then you found out it had quite a lot of use.
What did it do? I can't remember.
Gave you oxygen, breathe underwater.
You could breathe underwater.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that
gave
was
you
cool.
a bubble helmet for like a good amount of time and all this cool stuff.
It's for published
like
ones.
Sandy from fucking SpongeBob.
Yeah. Apparatus of the Crab is a classic. It's a barrel that turns into a walking crab mech.
Mate, Sean would love that.
Yeah,
and you can roll a d10 to press buttons at random to learn how to operate it. And once you've unlocked all of them, you can just drive it about. It's a pretty fucking good one. James,
That's such a good idea.
you got any?
No, I think like all the ones you've mentioned are pretty up there. To be fair, I don't tend to remember all the spectacular ones because my memory's shit.
What about the Cape of Boking?
Oh yeah, that's
Just the cape that makes it, for some reason, makes you better at piloting a boat, driving. What do you do to a boat?
I mean, that was in the book, I will say.
It wasn't called the Boking Cape, though.
No, it wasn't.
Why would a lich hide it in a sleeping dragon's ass? Well, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking
So when
question,
people
bro.
say, "Oh, dragons don't carry loot," they don't, but somebody else has carried it in them.
Imagine a dragon's size, so it's quite easy to...
Just walk in.
Just dive in. Alyssa Tilted, he says, when will you review GURPS? You're an idiot. We did it in episode 7. Bargle the Infamous, he says, what's your favourite Savage World setting or mini setting that no one else seems to have ever heard of?
Oh.
He says his is Day After Ragnarok. I don't know what that is, but it sounds great.
Deadlands.
That no one else has...
The most famous one of all time. Gosh, I can't remember what it was called now, but there was one I played with Eric that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough, where essentially all of the classes and the people you play are universal monsters. So we're talking mummies, Draculas, Frankensteins, and those are all the...
Draculas.
It is Draculas. Like, you're playing a Dracula. I can't remember what it was bloody called. Well, don't message in, because we won't get to it for a year, but if anyone can remember, look for that. It's really good. Primeval? No, fuck. I can't remember what it was called. It was really good, though. That's a good mini one. That's very good. Aliens vs. Rednecks. Cracking. Handsome writers on that one.
Tough Guys was pretty good.
Wow, that was phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. Really good. I don't know. We haven't played many mini or lesser-known settings, really, have we?
We have played quite a few, I think.
The Hidden Files of Section D is a very, very good one.
Yeah.
Steampunk World War II spy shit. Yeah. That's written by Alan Rowe. He's a mate of ours. Sort of. I know him, and we chat occasionally. And his Secret Files of Section D, that's what it's called. It's cracking. And his campaigns are really funny, but he doesn't know how to fit it into a 4-hour slot.
I will probably say...
We fought Mecha Hitler. It was awesome.
I will probably say that Savage Fallout falls under that category.
Well, that is about as obscure as you get because you can't get it anymore, and the only person that's got it has only got it in Word format.
Savaged Fallout.
Savaged Fallout is it called?
I'm pretty sure I've got it somewhere.
Yeah, same. Those are do. That's a good answer, isn't it?
Good answer.
All right, moving on. We've actually got quite a few. Kill Defences. He says, what are the best / funniest accents to replace the typically Scottish-sounding dwarves or the posh English-sounding elves?
Generic European.
Yeah.
Hello. No, that's Borat, isn't it? Darius Lutefisk.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hello, I like to drink like all of the beers. Because
I drank like 10 litres of beer.
I am such a dwarf.
That's great, man. Yeah, I like that.
That's such a good idea.
Do you know?
Sean nailed it. Well done.
Fun fact, yeah, generic European. It's got to be one for dwarves. Do you know that in Germany, obviously because they play in their native language, dwarves aren't Scottish; they're Bavarian instead. Which I think is a pretty fun fact. But what about elves? Right? Instead of them always being like, "Hello, I'm an elf," I think it'd be French. No, German's pretty good.
I reckon
Like
Indian.
We are the elves. Welcome to the forest.
Look how pretty I am. Yeah, the blonde hair. Oh wait.
Don't know that. Yeah, that gets into some pretty nasty
Wendy,
territory
we just
fairly
realised.
quickly, doesn't it? We do not like outsiders.
Your eyes are not blue.
Seek elves.
Maybe. I mean, maybe like wizards are on something. Like this is all getting a bit.
Tolkien
bad.
was racist. We all know it. Shut up. Who cares? No, actually, I do care. I really care.
Deeply.
I'm really woke. I am.
Yeah.
Right, so we got
sporting some blue hair today.
Shut up. Elves, not German, because that gets weird. So we've gone with generic European and
Indian.
well, okay, fine. But if you sleep with a human, you will not be immortal anymore. Oh no. Yeah, that's good. Indian's pretty good. I was also going to say West Country.
We imagine that.
Hello there. Welcome to the forest.
Or if they were like
Our order is avoided outsiders for 200 years.
yeah, rednecks.
Yeah, because they still look really pretty, but they have a redneck accent. Hello. Boggle the Infamous, he actually just sent, and this is actually quite relevant, he just sent in an image. It's from somebody on Twitter called 81 Kilograms, and it just says, reminder that most of H.P. Lovecraft's stories are set in or near Massachusetts, so you should mentally be giving all the characters Boston accents. And he follows up with, oh my god, it's an eldritch horror from beyond the stars.
That's awesome.
So everyone sounds like Marky Mark then. Huh?
Yeah, exactly, man. CJ says, I have a copy of the Hellboy GURPS game if it's needed for a review. Got some news for you, CJ. We will gracefully accept that, but we will never get around to reviewing it. But send it me anyway, because I want it.
Play the hell
Innit?
out of it, eh?
Is that...
I mean,
Play the boy out of it.
Look, we'll play it. We'll never speak about it, and you'll never get anything back from it. But
Actually, no. Let's say that. Send it and see what happens. We're not going to promise anything.
oh yeah, we'll play.
Yes.
How about that?
No,
But
we don't really need to see it. I mean,
but if
It
we
could
do-
get reviewed
we'll
on
have
the
it.
table. We're
It
not
might-
sure if we'll publicise
we'll
it.
review it out loud, but I'm not getting microphones out. That's a faff.
I might shout loudly, and then people can.
Mate, Sean-
good.
Sean can't be loud if you
No,
try.
I can't really be loud, but if
Fucking going to the pub with Sean is one of the worst experiences because
You basically have to sit next to him with your fucking ear in his face.
yeah.
what I do.
James once got annoyed at him and went, "What did you actually say?" Ace says thoughts on the alleged death of Dicebreaker. So this is following IGN, the news conglomerate for video games that are fucking just the worst website on the planet. Recently bought up a bunch of properties, including Dicebreaker, which was a RPG site that I only knew existed because I googled it when this question came in. So really, I've got no thoughts. Illithid says, if we can mail games in for review, and we've just discussed that, I'll send my copy of Hot Boys Making Out. Hot Boys Making Out.
Wait, we were gonna...
That was another one I was going to do an episode on, but was too short. I actually owned it.
Yeah.
I gave it away as a prize at a convention when
Memory
I
Run,
did.
yeah.
No, it wasn't that one.
Wasn't it?
It was when I did a panel at
Con on the Cob?
Con on the Cob about weird RPGs. And I said, whoever asks the most interesting question can have a copy of this weird RPG. So I gave it out. Now, the interesting thing about this is actually pretty good. It's more of a story game where you draw cards and make decisions. It's a one-on-one story game. It's called Hot Boys Making Out. But making out also refers to escaping. So it's where Spain has been in a war and to...
Oh, by the way, I reckon you definitely reviewed it.
I think I've spoken about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe I have. Yeah.
I think it was reviewed.
But it's quite good. It's quite good. But a part of it is the main character. You can actually play with 4 people, but the main character is this landowner, and he's gay with his butler. Right now, you can add 2 other people into it, but they don't get involved in the romance. They're just part of the escape plot of it. But it's about 2 gay blokes being in love and trying to escape from a war-torn country. It's quite good actually, except for the sort of really hentai-ish artwork. Mr. Mouthsores, he says each die in a standard set of polyhedral dice is addicted to something. What do you think for each die? What do you think that is for each die? Yes, you mean clay include DCC dice. I would say D4 is addicted to damaging because of D4 damage or power to the people. Maybe it's addicted to getting power. D6. Maybe this is a rubbish question.
D6, 6 packs of beer, I guess.
Yeah. D8 dating.
Yeah, women.
Right, moving on. Right.
D12 music.
Yeah.
That's so aggressive.
Bug with Infamous as the final question. Ever run an adventure set in one of the elemental planes for AD&D? Nope. Podcast over. Let's go.
Wait, yes you have.
No, I have.
Planescape.
Yeah, but that's not one of the elemental planes. There are many planes, but the elemental ones are specific ones based on certain
Like
elements.
Fireland.
Yeah, like the elemental plane of fire. Yeah, but you wouldn't call it Fireland.
Fireland. That's just a land.
That is
not a plane.
That's pathetic.
Fire plane would have been
It's
better.
a land in a plane. Landinaplane.com.
Actually, no, I haven't. I've run adventures in Limbo. I've done ones in Sigil, which I guess is kind of its own plane.
Land in the Wind.
What are you talking about?
Don't know. I'm just
I'm just saying.
He's just
I know.
continuing.
I just Land of the
I
Wind.
don't know.
Fireland.
Wind of the
Wario
Land.
Land.
I just want to like.
Is Wario Land one of the
be
planes?
involved.
Is Wario Land one of the planes?
Yeah,
Sean?
Wario Land
Yeah,
4.
if you want to be involved, say something meaningful. Don't just say Land of the Wind.
Wario Land 4 is a very good game.
Fucking hell.
Great.
Where did that come
what
from?
great insight there. I'm so fucking pleased this podcast is going on hiatus.
Well,
right?
so you don't
It's
have to
going on
talk
that
to it
shelf.
with Sean anymore.
It's going on that shelf. And it's never being dusted off. You ruined it. You've literally ruined it. Land of the Wind.
That's cool.
That is it for questions. Shall we? Thank you very much for sending them in. Thank you very much for sending them in all over the.
No,
Do you want to
Madden's
interrupt
what
him?
you
Do you want to
saying.
interrupt
Do you want
again?
to interrupt him as he's...
Go on, say Land of the Wind. Go on.
Do I have to? All right, Land of the Wind.
Thank you.
Not to be racist or anything, but Asian people.
Just thank you for everyone for supporting on Patreon by sharing it, by sending messages in. You've really made the show what it. Well, I've made the show what it is.
Wow.
Sean, and then Sean has fucking come and he's kicked it.
you know,
That's-
I've gone
James,
into a new
you've been
era.
amazing. Honestly, mate. Your performance in this podcast has been amazing. I've seen you grow
Cheers,
as a
mate.
human, as a podcaster. You've been amazing.
What about me? I've grown. in
You've
one
grown
certain
tiresome
area.
and
You've
fucking-
grown. You have. No, Sean. Genuinely, thank you for doing this. Thank you
That's
for putting the
all
effort
right,
in.
Thanks for the invite.
But we recently watched that whole James Somerton debacle on YouTube about him plagiarising large bits of all of his scripts.
Oh, no.
Having that said, do you want to do your cult review ever?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's not as interesting. That's why you put it on the pile.
Right, okay.
So, no.
Never mind. He hasn't picked up on it. Right, so what we will do is we'll do an outro. And yes, Sean, just to say, you are good.
Thanks, man.
You are good,
That's
man.
the
We
best-
do
that's the
joke
highest
about you,
praise.
but people don't understand this who listen to the show. We do like you.
Yeah.
That's good. It's
I mean,
high-
kind of have
it's high
to. 'Cause
praise.
We have to because you're my brother.
Yeah,
That's
sort of
that
like
is the
family.
reason.
You
know what
have
I
a
mean?
choice to not like me, though. And
I know, I
fucking
know.
hate
And
you.
God, that would be so. God, that would be so easy. This is actually getting cruel. Sorry. Right, outro time. Thing is, we don't really have anything to say anymore because we usually give out the contact information.
it's
You
one-
can
It's
send
all
us
just-
an.
It's just a bunch of thanks and then shout outs to anyone who's ever appeared on it.
Right.
A big mention to Nick. I know I already said it, but
Yeah,
big
big
mention.
shout to
He
Nick.
is the
He's
he's the
really-
reason this podcast exists.
Hold on a fucking minute. No, he
well,
is.
he
He is.
Fully
Because
fully
his
him.
his enthusiasm for it was
Yeah,
what kept me doing
he
it.
fucking pushed and pushed.
Well,
and
he
then
actually did say that he wanted to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what James is saying,
Just
Sean.
fucking
That's what he's
right.
fucking
Do you want
saying.
to agree with everything I just said? Like you.
I literally am. Right.
No, okay. Look, here's the people we got.
Also, he's like, because he's middle-aged and white, like.
What are you going on about his age all the time? What is wrong with you, man?
It's because Sean's like
Sean, he's-
knocking
no,
on
but that's-
that.
He's like, look, Nick, he's great. He's
No, but
starting the
that's why-
podcast, but fuck that guy, that old cunt.
No, he's not old. No, he's not that
Right,
old.
anyway,
he's only 1 year older than you
not
cretin.
even one, half. It's half a year.
He's so fucking old, man.
Actual half a year, almost to the day.
Do you think Nick could be floored by a 10-year-old?
No, but that's.
Do you think Nick?
Literally, no, he's a trained weapon.
He's
No,
a trained
I've
weapon.
seen his sidekicks. They are quite scary. But
the way his
did-
body creaked when it happened. No, I'm doing it.
He did learn karate when he was 10, so watch out.
It's a sort of karate.
No, I do love him.
No, listen. So we want to thank Nick. We want to thank Owen Lean. He guested on quite a few episodes. Eric Lamoureux, Richard Woolcock also guested. We want to thank Dave, the Digital Dungeon Master, who sadly passed away recently. Bit of a legend, came on. And who else? CJ, Jim Wampler.
Gary.
CJ and Gary for sending things in, yeah. Legendary. We've got a lot of good listeners,
What
man.
about Richard Woolcock as well?
Yeah, I know. That's why I thanked him 30 seconds ago. Yeah, good guy.
I missed that.
But,
what about Ryan Field? He guested.
Shush. So, I can't remember who else is that. Yeah, well, thank you for all of the people in the Discord and all the people that donated on Patreon. And some of the show's early friends who've now moved on. Conrad, Ace, CJ, all you lot. And specifically, obviously, Gary and CJ, because they sent us quite a lot of stuff to review.
Yeah, they're the heavy hitters in the contribution area.
Yeah, they were. And that's why...
Sams.
I like Manuel as well. Yeah, he sent us some stuff. Good point. Right. Yeah, thank you to everyone that was ever involved. We appreciate your time and effort.
And when it was something that was nice to be in, I'll thank you to Nerd International from the past and not the future.
Yeah, it's a shame what that became, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It was just everyone arguing.
I mean, it did disband and completely doesn't exist anymore. But
shortly after Sean and I made our Fresh Prince podcast. Not saying we're responsible, but we might have been.
They went, yeah, that podcast has fucked it.
It was quite good, mate. I mean, you know, that went actually like semi-viral, which is annoying because we haven't done an episode in 4 years.
I mean, the slap sort of really contributed to...
The Will Smith slap, that's right, yeah. Right, well, for a long time, in a while,
Goodbye.
I've been Harrison Hunt.
I've been James Clark.
I've been Sean
do. Yeah, how is it?
I've been Sean.
That's
That's
annoying when somebody
What about
interrupts you, isn't
Yeah,
it?
take that. What about
Alan Rowe?
What are you talking about?
Forgot to thank him.
We talked about him earlier.
You cretin.
Sean, stop jumping in with stuff when we're literally trying to say the last line.
Gary Gygax.
Sean.
Thanks to Gary.
Thanks to Sean for being the most annoying host we've ever had.
And that includes Owen Lean. So fucking
That's
hell.
quite a high praise, actually. To be the most of anything. All right, carry on.
What about the most prolific paedophile then?
That's the worst thing.
All right. Remember, the D20s are cool, but 20Ds, now that's a good time.
Oh,
Chicken
yeah.
McBosh.
Oh, nice.
Well done.
Bring it back to the old school.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, Harrison.
Okay, so this is a new podcast. And just chucked out a garbage bag full of tampons, right? That is a riot. Tony, come here. You'll never guess what Nick's got. It's not. He's only got a bloody giraffe wearing a tie. It's tie.
Absolute dynamite at the office party.
That's right. It's the Queen of England, everyone.
No, thank you. It is a genuine pleasure to be here.
These have got adverts on them. What?
You fucking cunts.
Are you kidding me? Continue the story with Deadlands Reloaded. Oh, they're advertising the Savage Worlds version.
But you have to, you book an appointment to go and test your wand out.
Okay, I see. I see what's going on here.
Because an anime is not a person.
I don't claim to be a good military strategist, but I think the main thing is the killing.
Well, yeah. Well, that's if you can get that right, everything.
If you can get that right, everything else just falls into place. Easy. Lads, I hit a woman.
Good.
In my car the other day.
Oh, nice.
No joke thing, I really did. So I was in the car park for Lidl, and I...
It was Millie, wasn't it?
That's right. Sean, you are interrupting the record. You are interrupting.
You're live.
Sean, if you want, I can just put some clothes on and come.
No, Sean. Don't feel bad, man. It's fine. Thing. Yeah. And he called up his quote, buddy in the fire brigade. Buddy in the fire brigade. Buddy. Right. He called up his fire brigade. He called up buddy in the fire brigade. Buddy in the fire brigade. Oh yeah. Buddy in the fire brigade.
So he called up his buddy in the fire brigade. Fuck, man.
I'm eating less food.
Well, so am I.
And you know what happens, Minor, when I eat less food? I get grumpy.
Well, Grimold, I don't like it when you're grumpy.
I mean, I don't really condone the shooting, but can't really go back on that now.
But see, I was making joke about, ending estate agents' lives because they being shits and all, but I didn't think he'd actually do it.
You know, if the police ever found out, I think you could be done for enticement, so you best keep that under wraps.
What, so I'm like a murderer now, am I?
Yeah, well, you sort of accessory. Actually, so am I.
You can see that it says Grungus's Fine Suits.
Here we go. Oh my. That's what I'm talking about.
My lord, can we tie a hammer to my arm?
Yes, good. You stump him in, but
That's one.
Wait a second. Let's put a hammer on that one and Uncle Steve on this one.
And also remember that D20s are cool, but 20Ds, now that's a good time.